I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just. So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
I'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready.
Nope. Yep. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-putting production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah. She just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here. Welcome. It is June 6th. Welcome, everybody. It's been an eventful day here. We have a lot to kind of go over. If you've been paying attention or are subscribed and following us on Twitter, you would have seen a lot is going on around here. Yeah. So today's live stream is brought to you by Tesla Solar and Powerwalls.
100% solar power.
But
right
they
now.
didn't pay us for this.
Yeah.
But thankfully we have them. We had some pretty crazy storms, about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago?
About 2 hours ago, yep.
And we have 4 down power poles outside our house. The neighborhood does not have power.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Our neighbor's driveway is blocked off because the power pole with all the transformers is basically just laying across their driveway. Another power pole snapped and took out their shed. They haven't, I don't know if they've seen it yet, but yeah, we've got a couple, 4 all in a row in our street. But we never noticed anything because our power walls took over instantly and power the house.
Yeah, here, cool. Real quick, I had some photos for you guys. There's that. We'll get to that in a minute. Here you can see the police,
yeah.
But there's a down power line right here stretching across neighbors. That's actually what it looks like. There's like 4 of them in a row, string. They did lose their shed, RIP. A little shed there. We lost like a 60-foot tree in the backyard. Luckily, though, it was already dead.
Yeah, we were going to have to cut that down anyway, so we thank Mother Nature for that one.
But in the front, we did lose this like half of the tree all right here. Fell over here. Luckily, no damage. We did already cut it up. By the post office, we have a down tree. By the retirement community area, they have a massive, how big would you say that is? Like 50 foot?
50, 60 feet, yeah.
It is huge.
Took out a gazebo that was underneath it.
Yeah,
so.
you can kind of see a gazebo in there. But here's what Colorado looks like right now for people without power.
And basically, it looks like our neighborhood will be without power for several days because we have multiple powers down. Luckily, we're fine. I think all of our neighbors are out without power, except for we heard 2 of them have generators going, so we're going to have to listen to that for a few days. But ours is totally powered by solar and Powerwalls. Right now, we're still getting sun. We're getting almost 4 kilowatts, and 2 kilowatts of that are going back into the Powerwalls. And the cool thing is shortly before the storm, they came out with a warning, and the Powerwalls went into the storm watch mode, automatically started charging up. Unfortunately, they only had about 15-20 minutes to charge, but they were pulling straight from the grid at like I don't know, like 18 kilowatts or something like that, and they were able to add a bunch right before the storm came in, and then took out all of our power poles.
Super windy though. Luckily though, we did get to cover some of the garden. We were actually outside covering the garden with like pots and stuff upside down. When it was like hailing, and probably it's worse. We literally came inside drenched and super muddy.
And then the rain and hail stopped, and
then it was just super windy. And actually, I think when we were outside in the backyard covering everything in the front yard just went to hell.
All the poles blew down,
and everything blew over. But yeah, so huge thanks to Tesla Solar and Powerwalls for helping us live stream still. Luckily, the internet did not go out, so we got plenty of power. Like David said, here I'll pull it up real quick for you guys.
Yeah, because currently our Powerwalls are at 79. We have 4 Powerwalls are at 79%, and they're still getting charged via solar. And we could probably go indefinitely. We could probably go all summer, no problem. Just off of our solar and Powerwalls. But yeah, it'll probably be several days. But we'll definitely keep track of that.
Yep.
Luckily, right in the app, it keeps track of your backup history, and it shows you exactly how long you're down. So right now, it won't show us, but it's been about 2 hours. But once the power comes back up, it'll show it's probably been like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, so here you can kind of see we're still producing solar right now. We have 79% in our Powerwalls.
Yeah.
But as soon as the sun comes back up tomorrow, we'll be able to fill those Powerwalls all the way to 100. And the nice thing is we don't use 100% of that overnight. So we'll be fine to live stream. I could game after this. We'll watch some movies. I don't know.
We could charge the cars if necessary, but really we don't need to charge cars because we did take my car out to the supercharger today. Just we were running errands and we stopped by the supercharger. Eric's car's already charged up, and Scott's car is at the service center.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Super happy we have the system because otherwise we wouldn't be here right now. But
we'd be here. We just wouldn't have power.
Touche. We'd be here, but we wouldn't be live streaming.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's just jump right into the news. The biggest thing is a Model 3 crashed on Autopilot. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. The video is up to 320,000 views on YouTube. Okay, 317,000, sorry. But we would kind of want to talk to you about this a little bit. I'm just going to turn off.
And I think this happened over in Taiwan.
Yeah. So you can see here, Model 3, There's a guy right here. And this Model 3 was on Autopilot. Driver clearly not paying attention.
He almost took out the driver of the truck.
Exactly. And then slams right into the truck. There's, I believe, 2 other angles of this.
Yeah, I should be coming up with another one. But to me, the driver, I think it was something like 54-year-old driver or something. He claimed it wasn't on autopilot, but the car is going, perfectly straight down that lane.
If it wasn't on autopilot, that's even worse for him.
Yeah, because that means that he would have been, I would hope, paying attention, and he would see the truck and maybe slow down and swerve.
Yeah,
but
here it is from the other
right
angle.
Into it.
You can see the Model 3 right there. One seriously almost hits the dude, and then plows right into that.
He was okay though, and the car looked surprisingly good afterwards. It had hard. I mean, I'm sure it got totaled, but the driver was totally okay. The
He walked away.
Yeah, the airbags didn't even go off. At least not the driver's airbag. So it looked like he hit something soft inside the truck, so it definitely absorbed all that energy. But yeah, so it was an autopilot incident, I would think.
Yeah.
But again, the driver should always be in control and paying attention.
Real quick though, Dan has a good point. Can we get a buckle up?
Oh yes, safety first.
Safety first. But yeah, so anywho, while in autopilot, you still need to pay attention. And actually, when you enable autopilot for the first time, to actually hit yes, you want to use it, you do actually agree that you will be aware of the surroundings and you are ultimately in control. So that being said, it's clearly the driver's fault either way. But I guess the driver did say he wasn't in autopilot.
He said it was like on tack.
On tack, okay.
But,
so
yeah.
then why was he not paying any attention?
Yeah, I think he was on autopilot.
So
Because the car wouldn't have been able to steer by itself unless autopilot was enabled. And
Exactly.
So he had to have had autopilot on, or he was paying attention and intentionally driving into the car or the truck. But
Yeah.
I don't think he did that.
either way, let's not let that happen anymore because that's not great. Could have ended badly. Luckily, Model 3 has some pretty stellar safety ratings, so just be careful out there. Kind of wanted to talk about that real quick. And then let's see. So, Model Y has an update for the induction.
Oh yeah, definitely. So basically, for the stealth performance Model Y, you can
Without the performance upgrade.
without the performance upgrade package, you can now get those 20-inch induction wheels at like no additional cost, right?
I think it used to be like 2,000.
Yeah, it was like separate, and I always wondered why those weren't there. I thought that these were part of it, and then somebody pointed out they weren't. I was like, oh, I would think those would be included as part of the induction, or as part of the stealth package.
Yeah, so anybody who is interested in a Stealth Y, you can get these no additional cost. Or if you really want to maximize your range, you can still get those 19-inch Geminis. But it is nice they are giving people that option. Now, if we go back to add the performance package, it gives you those 21-inch Uber turbines, and you cannot change those. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, so a stealth car, in case people aren't familiar, basically is a performance car without the increased top speed from 145 to 155, which 99.99% of people will never experience anyway.
Yeah.
You get the 21-inch Uber turbine wheels, which, I mean, I actually really like them, but a lot of people don't like giant wheels like that. You get the performance brakes that are red, but again, you can get those painted red aftermarket. You get lowered suspension, which, to be honest, I still think it's pretty dang high. In my eyes, it's still really high. And you get the aluminum alloy pedals, which, again, aftermarket from Abstract Ocean. Check them out. But you get a decent amount, but I don't know if most people need that. So that's what a stealth is.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of. Some people are saying the speed. Yeah, the speed is actually really nice. But again, most people will never be able to experience
The full
that.
speed, maybe the acceleration is what they were talking about.
So the acceleration goes. No, it's still 3.5.
Oh, really?
So with and without the performance upgrade, the 0 to 60 is still 3.5.
Okay.
But the nice thing with that stealth is you get the 315. Now, if we go here, add these wheels, and go back, it still says 315. So I don't know if you get that full 315 though.
Yeah.
With the 20-inch.
And for those of you who might have missed our last videos a couple weeks ago, we did downgrade or we changed from the 21-inch Uber turbines, which, what was the rated range on those, like 285 or something like that?
Let me look real quick. It is 280.
280 is what we had with the Uber turbines with the performance Model Y, and we went ahead and put on some 20-inch TSS Flow from T Sportline, and Tesla upgraded the software, or they sent a setting to the car, which now makes it so it says it's a top range of 315 miles instead of 280. So
Yep.
we got that additional range just by going down to the slightly smaller wheels.
Yep. And actually, the Sevens cars, huge thank you to you for using the T Sportline code to get yourself some 18-inch TSS for his Model 3 performance. TSS look really
the TSS.
awesome.
Yeah, we've got that on two of our cars currently.
Yep.
One of the S's and the Model Y.
They look really, really good. So hopefully
Hey,
you're
check it
enjoying
out.
them.
Scott sent some updated pictures. Basically, the police are in our neighborhood, and they put up a police
This
line.
just in.
Yeah, basically.
Let me pull that up here.
It's not that exciting, but for us, they
We've got the Popo.
They've closed off our street because of all the 4 down power lines and stuff. So
yeah, police line, do not cross. I actually crossed that earlier.
Yeah, we were out there earlier, but we stayed away from the power lines.
Yeah, so interesting. So yeah, that just in.
Yep.
So yeah.
Also, though, more white news for us. We are still waiting on either our next white performance Model Y or the white all-wheel drive Model Y. We did get a text earlier this week saying it should be produced within the next 10 days, and that it would be delivered sometime in June. So I know some other people reported getting a similar text. Some other people got a different text that said 2 to 4 weeks. So we don't know which one's coming first. Do the people get the 10-day one, get their car before the 2 to 4 week one?
It seems to kind of be all over the place.
Yeah, but anyways, Tesla's definitely contacting people, and they are trying to do that second quarter, end of quarter rush again, trying to push all those cars out. Because we saw some other people saying their order delivery was delayed until like September, which is going to be, end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're going to go back to producing cars for Europe and other markets, at the end of June. So hopefully they'll still do some Y deliveries, but definitely trying to do the push here at the end of this quarter.
Yeah. Real quick, have a few things just to catch up with. Diego, thank you for using the code from Abstract Ocean. I really appreciate the support. How many accessories do you have for the Model Y that you haven't showed yet? A lot. Still test fitting some stuff, but I haven't done everything because I'm waiting till we get into the white Y because I don't want to have to try to remove everything. Let's see. Katie's asking, actually, still waiting for my Y. Ordered white interior, seems to be hung out. Do you know why? So we're in the same boat with our second one. And so white interior wasn't originally built with like the first batch before the Fremont shut down. But they are now building it and now shipping it. So hopefully you'll be getting something soon.
Yeah, and I see another question. I saw Doug was asking if the superchargers are down up in Lakewood. It looks like they are still up according to the app. It seems like the damage was really isolated because our neighborhood was hit really bad, but we walked down a couple blocks away. They had some down trees, but their power was still up. So I don't know how bad it was up in Lakewood or the Golden area, but according to the app, the superchargers are still up there. But for some reason, the one up in Idaho Springs is down, but it's been down for a few days.
It's been down for, like almost a week.
Unrelated to the storm.
Yeah. And then let's see real quick. Actually, we'll get to those other questions here in a minute. We do have some other related news on
the big
MCU
news, the most exciting news
and Autopilot 3 upgrade.
I finally got my car, my 2017 S100D finally got the upgrade. So for the MCU and Autopilot. So basically we dropped it off Sunday night just so it'd be ready for the service center first thing on Monday morning. And they did the upgrade. They swapped out the center screen, the MCU1. They also, and the computer behind that. So the screen and the computer are separate, but usually they're sandwiched together and they'll swap them both out at the same time. They also updated the instrument cluster as part of that upgrade. And that allows all kinds of things, like all kinds of new games. It makes the maps much faster. It adds 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. It adds all kinds of features. So basically my car now, computer-wise, is the same as a brand new Model Y, Model S, any other Ravens coming off the assembly line. So that's just with the MCU update. Also, we had them do the Autopilot 3 hardware upgrade where they swapped out the Autopilot 2 computer. They did not swap out the cameras, but they swapped out the computer, and now I have all of Autopilot visualization. So I see stoplights, it responds to stoplights. I have, traffic cones, I have poles, I have trash cans, everything. So it's cool. My car is almost as if it's a brand new car, and it only costs the full self-driving had already been purchased back in 2017, but we paid the $2,500 for the MCU update. But it's like a brand new car again.
Yeah, so we will actually have a video on that coming this week. So definitely be sure to check that out. We're going to go into a lot more detail, show you pretty much everything about it.
But that was really exciting.
Super exciting.
Yeah, like I said,
it's like been a brand new 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really awesome to see. You actually drove more the other day than you have in the past 3 months.
Yeah, I had a technical problem at work. I've been working from home for like the last 3 months, and I had a technical problem. I drove into work, fixed it, drove home, and then the problem started again, so I had to go back into work. So I drove to work twice in one day, and I haven't been there in 3 months. So
and then we had to go to the service center for Scott.
Yeah. So Scott had some technical difficulties. Now, we don't know what's wrong with Scott's car yet. It might be software update related. Scott got an update, Thursday night to like the 2020.16.2.1, I believe, and he said he started having some autopilot problems. And
In the morning of Friday.
And then on Friday afternoon, he was getting another problem with power steering. So I don't know if that would be software updated. It sounds like it might be hardware, but it's really odd that it happened right after the software update.
Yeah, when he dropped off the car, I drove it because without power steering,
really hard to steer.
It is crazy hard to steer. So I went ahead and drove it, and then he rode with me, and then David drove his S.
Yeah. Do you have the screenshot that I think you used it as the screenshot for the thumbnail for the video? We should pull that up.
It's taken me a second.
But anyways, we did a little convoy to get to the service center.
Yeah, and so what we did is Scott was talking to him, and they said since he did just get the update, there could potentially be something with that because he updated it Thursday night, and Friday morning is the next time he started driving it is when he noticed it. But hopefully we hear something back on that on Monday. But then also on Model Y, we had somebody come out from Tesla, a mobile visit. So really all our cars
all three cars that were in the garage had service from Tesla.
This week. And so I've been having issues with the charging pad. The coils just aren't charging my phones. It recognizes it and starts charging, and then within like 5 seconds pops up saying it's not charging. So we actually had Tesla come out, and they tried it with a different phone, and it's working. So I guess it's just with the S20s, probably the Plus, the Ultra, like all of them, Samsungs. They're all having issues with where Tesla has put the coil in the charger. Now in the Model 3, I never had this problem, but in the Y we are. So hopefully Jetta comes out with their new hub for Y, which I know they're working very hard on. We should be getting a unit very soon, and that will solve the problem, because not having a wireless charger you can use in your car is actually kind of a bummer, because that's a great place to charge. You're not supposed to be using your phone in your car anyway, so you can just sit it there, get a free charge. You know what I mean? Well, get charged while you're driving.
Well, we're going to do the Jetta. We have the Jetta hub in the 3, so it'd be nice when we get one for the Y.
Yep, exactly. Brad said, happy you got it, David. While you were waiting for it, Eric got like 6 new Teslas. Was it 6?
I mean, maybe.
Technically,
we'd have to go back and count.
S was mine.
Yeah, so I bought that from him a year ago. So really, I've only had that S100D for about a year.
So I've had 4 3s.
Yeah.
I've had an X.
2 S's and a Y and an X, yeah.
So yeah, it's been a lot.
So we're up to 11 so far. So once we get that next Y, we will be at even dozen Teslas that the household has purchased.
And then we need to go for a baker's dozen.
Baker's dozen, yeah, definitely. And then 14, we can do a Winchell's dozen.
So. A Winchell's dozen. So basically, we're just waiting for Tesla to come out with a punch card for Teslas, buy 10, get one free, or whatever.
We asked for that on the last one, but they didn't have one. Yeah. But that would be nice.
Let's see. Chris says we're having the same issue with our charging pad as well. I have the S20 Plus. So unfortunately, Tesla did actually bring out extra charging pads, and we tried other ones, and it's just the coil placement. So definitely keep an eye out for a video, hopefully maybe this week, maybe next week, that we'll post about the Jetta pad, and that will solve any kind of issues, basically. And the nice thing with those is you can use them in landscape. Yeah. So not only does it have to be vertical, you can also throw it in landscape. But yeah, it's still kind of a pain in the butt, because the Model 3 wireless charger did not have this issue with this phone. Yeah. So they definitely did something kind of weird, which I would have thought they would have used basically the same pad. Yeah.
And you had that same phone.
USB-C.
You had that phone on the 3, because it was just back in March, and it worked fine. And so to go to a new car and have it not charging that with the same case, it's odd. So.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Let's see. Elon Musk is in the chat.
Oh, cool.
Don't think it's really him. Anyway, have you driven a Model X Raven? How's the suspension on it? So, haven't driven a Model X Raven, but I have driven a Model S Raven, and we actually did a video test on that about a year ago.
Yeah, when it first came out.
When the new Raven suspension came out, and it performed so well. We got everything graphed out, took it on a bumpy road with the Model S, without Raven,
with the regular
Model
air
S
suspension.
with Raven. And it performed very, very well.
And you could definitely tell between the 2 different modes on the Raven suspension. I don't remember what they're called, but one's like Sport and one's like Comfort or something like that. But when you put it in the other mode, it felt really bouncy. We're like, oh. Yeah. But then we went into my car, and I thought oh wait, that was even better than my car. And I still don't have a problem with my car, the regular air suspension in the 2017 Model S, but it was just really impressive.
You don't really notice a difference until you
go
try
to the
new
Raven,
Raven,
and then it's like so smooth
exactly.
and quiet. Yeah.
So I mean, that's one of the few things I wish we could add to the Model S. The range we're really not so concerned with, but the Raven suspension would be nice. Unfortunately, we can't do that. So we're just going to ride it out until maybe the Plaid comes out and upgrade.
Because right now, again, since I got the MCU2 upgrade and the Autopilot hardware update, my car is almost like a 2020 Raven Model S, except for that additional range and the suspension. Other than that, it's virtually identical in performance and functionality.
Yeah.
So cool thing, too, one thing we've got to mention, right after I got the hardware update and everything, I got the latest 2020.20.5 software update, which we haven't seen on the Y or the other cars yet. But basically, that brought out some improved GPS performance. It brought some new games, so we now have Fallout Shelter. Haven't played it yet, but it's a interesting and timely game. That we will be playing in the Model S one of these days. A few other updates there too. I can't remember what they are, but. Yeah, cool.
They were pretty minor. The game was definitely the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was kind of an eventful week for all the cars getting visits, except for the Performance Model 3, which is still out of the country. Hopefully we'll get some updates on that pretty soon.
Hopefully soon, yeah.
And then, let's see. So, Brad, the FM radio will be lost when you upgrade to the MCU.
So that's one thing.
We still are going to be playing around with stuff to see if we can maybe retrofit that. Tesla themselves are not doing it, at least not yet.
Yeah, and so basically what it is with the MCU1, it had like an analog tuner, and with MCU2, they changed it to use a digital one. And I guess where they place the radio tuner in the Model S and Model X, it's kind of down behind the driver's foot. It's not the easiest to get to. And while it's not difficult if you pull those out all day long, you could probably do it in less than an hour or two. But for people trying to swap these out, Tesla would have had to charge a lot more for that MCU upgrade if they were going to swap out the radio tuner. It'd be nice if they offered that as a separate little add-on feature, because I know that I listen to the radio still. Just talk radio that I listen to on the way to work, and the station I listen to is not available on TuneIn,
which is a bummer,
or Slacker or Spotify or any of those. So if Tesla's going to not provide the FM and XM radio anymore, it would be nice if they added a couple more apps, and if they had like radio.com or something like that, I'd be satisfied, because the radio station I listen to is available on the internet there.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to try to see what we can do to maybe get a workaround for this, and definitely, if we can figure something out, we'll mention it in the live stream, as well as do probably a full video on that.
There are alternatives. Like, I could use my phone, and I could
just Bluetooth it over.
I could do it via Bluetooth and go stream it via the app, but it's like that's going to take a few configurations whenever I get in the car. And actually, I guess if I leave it on that, because it would continue there, but I just have to have it on the phone. The other option is our phones have a built-in radio tuner, but unfortunately, our it's locked out. Our provider, it's locked out for some reason. It's like
because we buy unlocked phones.
Yeah, but for some reason,
so they lock out the radio tuner of all
doesn't
things.
Make sense. But there's other ways. So, and also, though, we're looking into, some people have reported they've been able to buy the digital tuner from Tesla, install it themselves, make a little patch cable to connect it to the MCU2. But the problem is it's not a plug and play thing. The MCU doesn't automatically recognize it and enable it. It requires Tesla to make a little change. It's a very simple,
which seems really stupid.
Very simple setting they need to change in the firmware.
One little checkbox.
But they're not doing it because it's not official. And if you go into your service center and say, can you go into the gateway and change this to this? They're like, we can't do that. That's not an official service procedure. And so right now, the only people who have been able to add that tuner to their MCU2 have been ones who have
rooted their cars and
have the software. They're able to do that themselves.
And you gotta be careful rooting your car, though, because that can cause some potential service issues down the line.
You never know if Tesla decides to,
Yeah, disable everything. Most people that have rooted their car, to be honest, are ones that are out of warranty and said, screw it, I'm out of warranty anyway, let's just go ahead and root it. I can get what I want. So that's not a bad thing to consider, because a lot of these are, I don't want to say older cars, but I mean, they've been around a year or two, so they've got some miles on them.
Did you want to
What's
I was
up?
going to say, before we move on, do you want to do a quick solar update too?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into solar update. We'll say right now we are live streaming because of our power walls in our solar system, because grid is down in our neighborhood due to several fallen power lines, in case you missed that at the beginning.
Yeah, we are still generating at 2.8 kilowatts, and 1 kilowatt is going back into the power wall, so they're charged back up to 80% now.
Yep. So here's kind of what today looks like.
Kind of weird day. We had some clouds and stuff, so the power walls did not get up to 100% because we had a lot of clouds and some sprinkles, some rain, and then we got the notification there about 3:15, 3:30 where the storm watch was enabled, so that's why you can see this white line jumping up. But again, we only had that for about 15 or 20 minutes before the wind came in and actually knocked down all the power poles. So typically, though, when we have a blizzard or something like that, you know about that like 8 or 12 hours in advance, and Stormwatch can come on and totally charge the power walls up to 100. In this case, we only got up.
It's like a freak thing.
Yeah, but we only got up to like 80%. But that's good because we could still probably go like 4 days without even any solar on 80%.
Yep.
But the cool thing, they're charged back up. We went back down to like 76 or something. We're already back up to 80% just because the sun's still out.
And you can see right here, this little blip right here. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that right here. That would be Scott using the dryer.
Yeah, Scott's like, I got to do a load of laundry. So, doesn't matter though, because, we can power everything. We have the whole house back up. Some people, when they get their power walls installed.
If you only get like one power wall.
Yeah, you might only back up certain circuits like a furnace or a refrigerator, stuff like that. But we have the entire house backed up. Everything, no matter whether it's 240 volts, all of our cars can still be charged, and we can still do laundry with an electric dryer. We can cook on an induction range. Don't have to really watch anything. And the cool thing now too is that the Model Y has that new functionality that we tweeted Elon about a year ago, where basically we were concerned that if the power does go out, will the cars charge and drain them all, drain the batteries out? So we tweeted Elon about that. He said, yeah, coming soon. And a few weeks back, they released a firmware update where the Model Y, if it senses that the grid was down, it will actually check to see how many other loads are on there, what the battery reserve is, and it will stop charging as necessary. Currently, the Model S doesn't have that software update yet. As far as we know, we should try that because we just got the 2020.
That's true.
20.5.
It might have it now.
It might be in there and just unannounced. So we can try that out and see. But basically, the cars now communicate with the power walls, or at least with Tesla's servers, and then the grid, they see the grid's down, and they will stop charging automatically to prevent those power walls from grading. So right now we have our power walls. Let me just check and see here. I'm on a screenshot instead of the actual app. So basically, our power walls are set to, if they get down to 35%, they will stop charging the cars. But my car's charged up to 270 miles. It's like 80%, so I won't need to charge for the next few days. So it shouldn't be a problem with a multi-day outage.
Yep. And then here we are for June.
So June, not the best compared to what we were getting, back in April and May. I think the top we've had so far was 118 kilowatt hours back there on the 2nd. We're still pretty much covering all of our usage via solar, but we've had some issues with basically with our
electric provider.
Yeah. So basically, we have a transformer that is faulty, and Excel is our electric company, and they're not replacing it, and it's sending some weird signals to our power walls. And we're working with Tesla and Excel to try to get that resolved. We were actually hoping, when we saw that 4 power poles got blown down, we were hoping that the one
that's causing the
problem
issue
and actually got blown down. That's the one in the neighborhood that's still up. But it would be nice if they would replace that, because they're going to have to replace all the transformers and all the power poles. They were already in the process of replacing the power poles in our neighborhood, so it'd be nice if they replace that faulty one as well.
So long story kind of short, because we have a video on this coming up too. We didn't really notice this issue before earlier this year because no one had their AC unit on. And since all our neighbors now have their AC unit on, it's doing some large fluctuations in
on the transformer,
the frequency and stuff like that.
And the voltage,
And voltage. So it's sending messages. Well, okay, I'll say Tesla's system is reading it as
a grid
out
outage.
of spec, so it's a potential grid outage, shutting the solar system off for a minimum of like 5 minutes every time, and it really adds up. But we have a video going into far more depth on that, condensed into like 10 minutes, coming up hopefully later this week. But it's causing us some issues, so we're not very happy about it.
But the cool thing is now, we're actually glad that we're going to have a multi-day outage.
Oh, you bet.
Because our Powerwalls and solar will work perfectly.
We don't care what the grid has.
As long as the grid is down, we're not going to have that interference, and they will power up our house perfectly. Hopefully we'll have a perfect solar day, but we haven't had a lot of perfect solar days lately because it's been hot, and then our neighbor's air conditioner seems to be causing issues. So again, we'll have a video on that lately. But so June, not as good as we were getting back in May, but if you look back for like the year so far, we've had a really good year. You know.
And I mean, we're only this is probably only 5 days worth of data into
the
June.
Month, yeah.
So, I mean, we still have time to hit May.
And we're still generating a ton of power. And if you go to like the numbers for the year so far, I think we've got like over 1,500 credit, 1,500 kilowatt hours credit, which basically means that we've produced more than we've taken from the grid, and that just rolls over indefinitely from our electric company. So this is going to be what we're going to be powering our house with. Those credits will cover our usage in like November, December.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what we'll use.
It'll cancel that out, I guess.
It'll more like
we're still going to pull from the grid in November, December, but we will have already earned the credits here in the early part of the year that will cover the bill at the end of the year in the summer, in the winter, sorry.
And real quick, Brian has a question. Do your Powerwalls charge from the grid when solar isn't producing?
No, basically the only time, if you do have solar, the only time your Powerwalls will be able to charge from the grid is if Stormwatch is enabled and activated. Kind of like we showed on the graph for earlier today, it came on and charged for about 15, 20 minutes. If the poles hadn't fallen down, they would have charged all the way to 100% via the grid. The only way you can charge from the grid all the time is if you don't have solar, because basically the power company doesn't want you buying power from them when it's cheap at night and then selling it back to them during the day. But if you have Powerwalls without solar, and that's just like an emergency power option backup for your house, then you are allowed to, the only way you can charge them is from the grid if you don't have solar.
Yep. Let's see, what's your opinion on Tesla customers who have gotten an MCU car which didn't work well, but are now charged over $3,000 in Europe just to replace it or upgrade? I would definitely say upgrade it rather than replace it.
Yeah, so I know that a lot of people originally Tesla was saying if you wanted to get, you had to like upgrade your MCU. But a lot of people have actually been getting full self-driving, that computer installed still with MCU 1, and it's working. It doesn't have all the functionality, doesn't have all the games, doesn't have the smoothness or the speed and everything, but it still is actually working with the full self-driving computer. Now, I know some people with the older MCU 1 that the memory is starting to fail. Tesla is charging them to fix that. I don't think they were charging $3,000. They should only be charging like equivalent of about $1,500, maybe $1,200. That would transfer over into euros or whatever currency you are elsewhere in the world. But yeah, that's not good that it's costing that much if it's out of warranty. But if it's still in warranty, then you shouldn't be having to pay for that.
Exactly.
And there are third-party people I know in the United States, both coasts, and in Europe that will swap out your memory chip in an MCU 1 for you, and it runs like $500. So it's not cheap, but it's something that if you don't want to go through that expense of paying $1,500 to replace your MCU 1 or like $2,500 to MCU 2, then it's a cheaper way you can keep your car running.
Definitely. And then let's see, Joe said, thoughts on solar-powered crypto mining? I mean, if you're gonna do it, solar power is probably the way to do it.
We do know some one of the most famous Tesla hackers does that.
Yeah,
he basically has he has a
ton of car batteries.
Yeah, he basically buys old Teslas, takes their batteries. Instead of using Powerwalls, he uses the old batteries from like S85s, older Teslas that were totaled, and he basically powers his house, and he has a ton of crypto mining computers that he does.
So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, definitely do it with solar, because at least that way, once you pay for it, you don't have to keep paying, and otherwise you're paying electricity every month.
And that's something that we would consider if we did have a huge surplus of electricity. But right now, our electricity typically our solar would only be covering our usage, about 100%. But since I've been working from home, I haven't been driving as much. We do have that surplus for the last few months.
Yeah. Let's see. Steve says, any updates on white interior? Sorry if I missed it. So they are producing white interior cars and shipping them out. So definitely keep your eyes out.
We actually saw one at the service center here.
Yeah, it was a blue with white interior.
Looks nice.
Yeah, the white interior looks phenomenal. So definitely keep an eye out if that is in your build. And then let's see, KK said, can you force your power walls to charge if you select backup in the app from the grid?
No, again, the only way you can charge from, if you have solar, the only way it'll charge from the grid is if you have Stormwatch, and Stormwatch is enabled, and then you receive a weather warning, like a red flag warning for fire danger, or if there's a blizzard warning or high winds or tornado, then it will charge from the grid. But there's no way. There might be a way if you hack into the software that
you might be able to hack
you could fake that, but using Tesla app, no, you cannot charge from the grid if you have solar.
Yeah.
On demand.
Let's see. Jason says, when is your video on the Tasmanian roof shade coming out? Hopefully soon. It all still needs to be edited still, and I'm still having a hard time with edits and all that. So, yes, hopefully soon. Let's see. Trying to get all that sorted out. Shane says, any news on Cybertruck? I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything?
Not really. No,
It's been pretty quiet.
I mean, not since a couple weeks ago.
We've been hearing some possible site locations in Austin.
Where they might be building the next Gigafactory, the Terra factory.
But we haven't heard anything this week on Cybertruck. Let's see. TM3 Techs. Abstract Ocean does not have a storefront. At least not that I know of. I don't know. I can text them real quick. But no, I don't believe they do. Let's see. Pear said, got my roof sunshade, fits nice. So I'll say this because that video isn't ready to come out yet. I have been using it, and on some very sunny days, it really cuts down the temperature, which I absolutely love that. So definitely in the summer, it's really nice. However, it does cut your visibility slightly looking out the sunroof. So you're not going to be able to look up and see clouds, but that's the whole purpose of it, is to block that sun and everything. And at least it's removable. So if all of a sudden you want to see them, you just remove it. It's super easy to do.
The cool thing is it's got holes, so you can still see out. It's just you can't see everything.
Yep.
But it definitely helps.
Oh, Abstract Ocean, thank you for responding. They have curbside pickup.
Oh, cool.
So you can get in on that if you would like. Yeah, that's awesome. I did not realize that. That's kind of cool. Contactless, like, can we just like pop our trunk, you throw in the product and we drive off? That'd be kind of fun. Let's see. So we have some more response on the Europe 3K for the MCU. Said the reason I ask is because I had a faulty MCU for 2.5 years. However, Tesla asked me to send MCU timestamps, and when I do, they tell me my car has no problems, and I'll be charged $3K for replacement.
Yeah, the price seems.
What do you mean by faulty MCU?
Yeah, and what symptoms are you having? Because you'd think they would be able to figure that out, or you'd be able to show them. But also, it does seem expensive for $3K. It's because it only costs $1,500 US, and I'm pretty sure that $1,500 US is not €3,000.
Yeah, definitely not.
That seems overpriced.
I agree. I don't know. If you're still hanging out, definitely let us know what kind of faults you're having on that. Just curious.
Because typically what we've seen other people, it's the eMMC, the memory chip, is going bad just because it was only like 8 gigabytes on older cars. And Tesla was doing a lot of logging. And over the years, that was just kind of using up that memory. And so it slows down. And so the way to fix it is to swap out the memory chip. Unfortunately, Tesla doesn't just allow you to just swap out the chip. You have to pull out the whole MCU, and then they put in a new one or a refurbished one, which could be cheaper. But those third-party people are able to just swap out the chip, and they'll usually put in like a 64 or 32 gigabyte chip, and that way it just extends the life that much longer. So the new chip should last probably 20 years once you get it swapped out.
Yeah. So KK actually has a response. I can select backup in the app and charge my power walls from the grid. I have solar too and live in Michigan. I haven't heard of that before.
No, I've never heard of that from anyone there, because typically you can only charge from the grid if Stormwatch is enabled.
Yeah. So that's new.
If
Maybe,
it is,
is that
you know
a
what?
Michigan thing?
Okay, I did hear there's been like one person or somebody who said that he went with his lawyers or something, contacted Tesla, and said that he was not going to be taking tax credits on the power walls, and that they were able to flip some switches. So yes, technically it is possible, but I think in 99.9% of the installations, they do not set it to allow you to charge from the grid if you have solar.
Yeah. So, curious to know, did you get those installed at like different times maybe? Maybe somebody forgot to do something, but hey, I'd ride that out if you can. Let's say Diego says, I know you were giving away T5s the other day. Is that what you use for Sentry mode, and what would you recommend? So
yeah, we still have some to give away.
Yeah, we still have some to give away coming soon. But yeah, so we use these. We use the 500 gigabyte version. They go up to like 2 terabytes, but anything over 500 gigs is super expensive. These are about, I think, like $89 to $100 normally. Those are what we use in every car, even the Model S now, because it actually has Sentry mode now, which is super exciting. And that's all we use, and they do really, really well. I used to use thumb drives, which also worked, but these one can store more than the thumb drives I was using, and they're also SSDs, so they're better with just like temperatures and anything kind of like that.
I think they stay cooler too, because some of those USB thumb drives get really hot.
Super hot.
You can't even touch them; they're so hot, and that can't be good for the life of those chips.
Exactly. So we've been using these for quite a while now, and I've been super happy with them, no issues.
And the cool thing too with the SSD drives, for those of you who do still like to carry around like MP3s or FLAC audio files, you can partition it into multiple partitions, and you can have your Sentry mode and dash cam on one partition, and you can keep all your music on the other. I don't do that. I just keep it all for the dash cam. But the cool thing is, yeah, we forgot to mention that, but I now have dash cam, built-in Tesla dash cam, and Sentry mode in my car. So I still have the old Blackview 4K camera on front and rear. But it's nice to have that extra camera, because I now have side views from the repeater Tesla cameras.
Yeah. Let's see. Steve says, how did you get Tesla? Oh yeah, I guess since we're done with news, you can unbuckle.
Yeah.
Steve says, how did you get Tesla to upgrade your system? I thought the power companies only allow systems 115% above the last 12 months. So, I mean, we'll go into this a little bit more in the video, but since the whole situation in the U.S. world right now, he hasn't been driving to and from work, so that's actually helped alleviate. But yeah.
Also, it depends. So we'll go back to 2018. It depends where you live, how your power company is, and what rules they have in your state. But basically, back in 2018, when we were getting solar, we had to provide proof, like a year's worth of electric bills showing how much our usage was, and that was good in some ways because we had already purchased a couple cars, but we hadn't purchased the third Tesla, at the same time. We had purchased multiple ones, but we didn't have that. We only had 2 Teslas in the household. But then at the end of 2017, we added a third Tesla. That wasn't reflected in our bill. Basically, our electric company allows you to plan to add up to 120% of your previous year's usage. And if you have an electric vehicle, you can add like another 3,000 kilowatt hours for the year. So with that, when we first installed our 16.5 kilowatt system, that was expected to be 141%. So it was 120%, and that extra like 3,000 kilowatt hours was like another 20-something%. So it came out total to 141%. We knew that still wasn't going to be enough to cover our usage, so we waited an entire year, and then we
got more data.
We got more data, showed that now we have 3 Teslas that are actively being driven every day to work, and just regular household usage as well. And we then went back to our Tesla and our electric company again and proved, look, our system that you said was going to provide 141%, it only provided about 75-80% of our usage. We need more solar. So we went ahead and added another like 4 kilowatts to our system. So we now have just shy of 20.5 kilowatts. And if we were to maintain our regular schedules, driving 3 cars daily to work, that probably would have come close to 100% coverage.
Yeah.
But back in early March, I started working from home, and I have not driven my car up until really yesterday. Yeah. And so that's a lot of usage, several thousand miles. So that's, a couple thousand, probably right there, a couple thousand kilowatt hours that have not been used. And that's why it's gone back to the grid.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are still limited in many states. Some places they don't care. You can install as much solar as you want. But that's how we were able to do it, is we went back and showed that our system wasn't large enough and we needed more solar. And we could do that again, but since we're not using much this year, we're probably going to have credits for the rest of the year and maybe going forward. So I don't think we'll be allowed to install or upgrade our system to add more kilowatts anytime soon.
But the nice thing is that we already have it. So like, it's not like they can come to us next year and be like, oh, you didn't use all this, so you have to like downgrade your system.
Yeah.
Once we have the system, we're good.
Yeah, and the cool thing too is right now we do have like hot water boiler heat for the house, but we're going to try to put in some more electrical stuff. So basically we're remodeling a bathroom and we're going to be putting in an electrically heated floor. And that's going to, it's going to use some power. It's not a little bit. It's not as efficient as the hot water heat, but we're not going to heat the whole house with it. It's basically one small room and it will heat under the tile. But that's a way that we can use some electricity and then, still 100%, our electricity hopefully will be coming from our panels.
Yep. Let's see. Another update on the MCU. My MCU is unresponsive and takes up to 5 seconds for touches. It goes black and reboots about 40% of the times. I do Spotify searches. It works incredibly slow, and I lose airbags randomly.
Wow, yeah, that sounds like...
It basically never works correctly. Incredibly slow, unresponsive, random crashes.
I would see if you could go to a different service center then, because to me that's totally the eMMC is failing, and they need to swap it out. So I can't believe that they would say that there's nothing wrong with it, because that's totally
and also,
the problem.
They're like diagnostics. They should be able to see the reboots, I would think, but they will not be able to see the unresponsiveness in 5 seconds for touches.
Yeah, because that probably doesn't get logged. But if you take it in and show it to them, they should totally be able to see that. And that totally sounds like it's getting ready to fail. And eventually, if you keep leaving it that way, it will fail, and your MCU screen will be totally blank. You'll still be able to drive the car, but you won't be able to update, like change the radio station or change the temperature. And if you have scheduled charging,
you could do temperature through the app.
That probably connects through the MCU, so I don't think you can even set the temperature to the climate control anymore. And also, you won't be able to even charge the car fully anymore, because once that happens and you're scheduled charging in there, the car won't know when to charge. Oh, yeah. And so you'll be limited to only charge it it's very slow and it's at a lower percentage. So it's definitely something, you can still drive the car, but you're going to lose a lot of functionality, and you don't want to be driving it if you can't turn the heat on in the winter, or if you need to have it charged to go on a ride. It's definitely need to get that fixed.
Yeah, I would just definitely try another service center or something and see if you can get somebody in person, which right now is not going to be easy. But see what you can do. Yeah,
or if you send us like an email, we could tell you. I know there is a guy in Europe, I think he's in Norway, that he will do those EMC swaps, and he can either tell you how to remove the chip yourself, or there are some people that will travel around and remove it for you, and then you just basically ship it off to him, and they can do it.
And that's if you're out of warranty. If you're in warranty, Tesla needs to just handle it.
If you're in warranty, Tesla should cover that.
Yeah.
And they will also extend it, so I think it's for like another 4 years on that MCU.
Yeah. Abstract Ocean said you'll have no regrets with heated floors. Well worth it. Yeah, I was super excited.
Looking forward to that.
To be honest, that's like one of the most excited things about the bathroom. But the whole bathroom is in shambles right now.
It's down to the studs.
I cut myself today doing some stuff.
It's just down to plywood studs, and there's no insulation, and we're going to be ripping out windows. And
no shower, no vanities, no...
Fortunately, we have other bathrooms in the house, but that one is totally gutted.
Yeah. Let's see. William says, have you heard the UK might be getting a gigafactory? Yeah, I think we're going to be hearing a lot about different gigafactories coming up. They're going to be doing a lot real quick. Douglas says, I'm using more energy to charge because energy used for battery conditioning. It's been so hot lately.
Yeah, that's one thing. We noticed too at the supercharger today, it was really ramping up the fans.
Really kicked up.
Yeah, so definitely, at least in the Tesla, it was ramping up the air conditioning, which also is connected in with the cooling system, and
Yeah.
I did hit I think this is the lowest that we've taken my car when charging at the V3 supercharger.
50 miles or so on the battery.
Yeah, but I think it was down to 30 by the time we got there. But basically, I had 162 kilowatts is what I hit today, which is pretty high. I think older cars can only hit about 180 max versus like a Model 3 or Model Y, which can get up to 250. But 162 was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Because when we were only like V2, it was only hitting like 125 or 130. So 162 was good.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, KK said, guess I'm lucky then. I won't complain about being able to select backup. I did get solar after my Powerwall.
Yeah, so it's
So
possible.
I bet they just forgot to like
they haven't
click
updated
something.
your system, or also if you didn't buy them from the same people, then they might not have updated your account properly on Tesla's account. But basically, if that's happening, consider yourself lucky. 99.9% of people cannot charge their Powerwalls via the grid.
We got a super chat from Jeffrey. Shout out to Jeffrey Tripp. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You should vlog the remodel, especially the floor. Okay, so like remodeling bathrooms, never done it before. It's a hot mess, and a lot has gone wrong. Some's gone right.
Well, when you tear out the floor and the walls, you see that whoever put this together.
Well, here, I'll give you kind of like the broken down version of this.
Why are we remodeling
that bathroom shower has not been used in 9 years because the previous owners screwed up, and
I think it wasn't
they
the owners,
hired somebody
it was
who
whoever
didn't
built
know
it,
what he
yeah.
was doing.
Yeah.
He did drywall under the tile, so that's a big no-no.
Not concrete board, backer board.
And
yeah.
there was leaks around the window, so it was leaking through. So basically, this bathroom shower hasn't been used in 9 years, and we said enough is enough, time to do it. But one of the quotes we got back was like 30-40 grand for a bathroom. So we were like, no, we'll just do it ourselves. And I think we're now in like what, 8K, 10K?
No, right now it's only about 6K. But we haven't bought everything yet. And we've done all kinds of other household projects.
Yeah.
We've like put windows in the garage. We've done siding. We've done all kinds of stuff, electrical. So we've done all these parts individually in other parts of the house. But this will be the first time we've done it like an entire room in the house. So definitely looking forward to having it done. But it's going to be a few months, I think.
It's a hot mess. I would love to vlog it, but that like, as it is, I'm trying to find somebody at least like 20 hours a week, and maybe even someone 40 hours a week full time to help me with videos. So I would need to get even more help for that. I don't know. Maybe we'll throw something in there. I just don't know if people would really like to see that. I mean,
other people would do,
obviously
but
you do,
not
so
our
I
current,
appreciate that.
Yeah, probably not our current
but I don't know. Maybe
base.
I'll do it on like my personal channel, which I haven't done anything on in like 6 years. In case any of you want to check that out. But yeah, maybe we'll do something like that, because it will look really nice if everything goes to plan. But house projects always take 5 times longer and 3 times the budget than you thought.
It is fun though, because I have like a little spreadsheet, like a project spreadsheet, and we're keeping track of all the purchases, and as they arrive, we can mark them off, and I'm just eagerly waiting when we can start installing everything.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so they actually said the guy who swaps the EMMC in Holland.
Yep.
So,
okay, Holland.
Yep. Thank you for mentioning that. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Michael says, does the Model 3 have USB-C for the SSD? I just got my first Tesla yesterday and need to set it up. So it does not.
Unless they switched something in the last couple of...
It never has before.
Yeah.
But these actually do come with a USB-C to USB-C cable and a USB-A to USB-C cable. And so what I've done is I've always just done, even in the Model Y, I've done the USB-A to USB-C cable, because this actually uses a USB-C on it. So in the Model 3, I used the Jetta hub, and in that little compartment, they actually do provide a USB-A to USB-C cable that plugs right into this. It's beautiful. They're coming out with that for Model Y too. But in the meantime, I've just been using a little cord or cable that comes with this that's USB-A to USB-C, and it works out great. You don't need USB-C to USB-C for these. Everything will get copied over just fine. Let's see. Pranker Kids for Life says, are you playing on GTA? I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a very long time, but I am hooked on Warzone, and I've been playing that a lot lately. A little Fortnite too. Let's see. Eric Cruz says, appreciate your videos. Thank you. Thank you, actually, for joining. Let's see. Dan says, should I get FSD when I order my Model Y before July 1st, or wait to see if they do a la carte? That's a good question.
What was he asking about for a la carte?
Should I get FSD when I order my Model Y before July 1st, or wait to see if they do a la carte? So, like,
remember,
remember,
they're
like,
supposed to be coming out with subscription. And stuff too. I don't know. Yeah, because I know they're supposed to raise the price too, but it's like, I don't know. That's a hard one.
So I hate subscriptions, so I just bought it outright. It is a big cost though. $7,000's a big chunk of money. So I don't know. It's a gamble, to be honest. I still think if they do subscription, it's going to be several hundred per month. I don't know how they can get away with doing anything less. So I don't know if there's going to be a minimum 1-year term, couple month term. We don't really know anything about it besides Elon saying a subscription.
The nice thing is if you do tie it into the car price when you first buy the car, is you can tie it into that financing and have it all,
True.
Built into the price.
Yep.
And
finance rates have actually been coming down.
Yep.
So you can actually get some like even sub 2.
One benefit of maybe holding off, at least in some states or some places, is that the price of the car would be a lot lower and you wouldn't have to pay as many taxes or registration. Like where we live, registration depends on the price of the car and it's not cheap. I think we just registered the Y and it would have been like $1,900 for the year.
Yeah.
I know if you live in like Arizona, it's like $50. So people in Arizona don't have as much incentive, but people in places like Colorado that charge a lot more, it'd be better to not put that full self-driving on there, buy it later, put it on a credit card or something, earn a lot of points, and then your registration is going to be cheaper for the first 5 years of your car ownership.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely something to think about and run some numbers and see what works out best for you. Greg Austin says Australia is pushing for a gigafactory. Lots of empty factories after GM and Toyota pulled out. South Australia is pushing. Tesla's been doing a lot of stuff in Australia lately, mainly kind of on like the power side of things, but I can definitely see something like that happening. I'm pretty sure every continent is going to have at least one gigafactory. How quickly, I don't really know, but definitely got to be planned. Let's see. At 6:51, she was saying, Nima, I'm wondering though, do you also know if it's possible to find non-official body shops who can do an MCU1 to MCU2 upgrade, bypassing Tesla directly?
Is that in the United States?
Would gladly drive anywhere in Europe to do it.
Oh, in Europe.
So I don't think so, because when you do that, you need to have the Tesla toolbox. Basically, it's a laptop they hook up and program everything. So I don't think anyone else besides certified shops can do that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Tesla still kind of has it locked down.
Yeah.
Unless you go to those third parties who do it unofficially. And again, you probably only want to do that if you're out of warranty. But again, Tesla should be taking care of it if it's under warranty.
Oh, wow. They drive one of the highest mileage Teslas currently is in Amsterdam, taxi driver.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
we heard about those.
Amsterdam's amazing. I was there, what was that?
It's a few years ago when you went to Hamburg and stuff like that.
Yep. I went there for a reptile show, believe it or not. And actually, how heavy was that jug of Nutella that I bought?
It was like 5 kilos, so probably like 12 pounds. Yeah.
How about like a 12-pound thing of Nutella?
It was a huge thing. And you fell when running through the airport or something
I fell in the airport.
But luckily
right
the Nutella still survived.
Oh, it was so embarrassing.
It's delicious. And
Scott was just sitting there laughing at me.
And it was the good Nutella that was not endangering orangutans or whatever. Don't worry.
Correct. It was without...
palm oil or whatever. It
was with the other oil.
Yeah.
I try to watch out for my orangutans. Let's see. Diego said, how are the dogs doing? They're doing excellent. They're actually sleeping right outside there. They'll come in a few minutes.
The puppies are okay. But
okay. So yeah, time out. I guess I need to rewind that. So at the end of last week's live stream, we mentioned videos might be spotty for a little while because Brecken was actually, his test came back and he has lymphoma. He started his first chemo treatment on Wednesday.
Yep.
And with some extra steroids and stuff like that, he has started eating again.
Yeah, he went like 2 weeks without eating, and we didn't know what the problem was, and went in, did a lot of testing, and came back. They were suspicious, and it was confirmed it was lymphoma. He finally had started eating again, but luckily he had a few extra pounds. It was okay for him to lose, but then he went beyond that, and he started to show some ribs and stuff. But he started eating again, and he had some problems again after the first chemo appointment, but after a day he started eating again. So, and we found some stuff he will eat. So
yeah, but puppies are doing good. Brecken, it's actually doing better now than he was last week when we did our live stream.
Yep, so definitely much better.
Yeah,
he's on the medication now, and he had his treatment. So that hopefully that will work out. We got to take him in.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of vet visits too, and we went to some specialists and stuff, and there was some really expensive options that were, could go on for like the next 5 months for treatment, and yeah, that would put him through a lot.
They were very intense treatments.
Yeah, and I can't see taking him into the vet like multiple times per week, and he's 11 and a half, almost 12 years old, and I don't think he would have appreciated that. So we're going with a different kind of middle of the road chemo option where he only has to go for chemo like every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so it should be a lot less stress on him, I think. So he may have 1 day a week or 1 day for every month or 3 weeks where he feels bad, but we'll see. It still has a really good prognosis, but we'll see.
Yeah. Rob says, do you have a delivery date for your new Model Y yet? Just received my VIN, but no date. No date yet. Definitely should be sometime in June. I'm kind of hoping for next Saturday. Most people won't know what day that is. That's totally fine. But I'm kind of hoping for next Saturday, I guess. Probably not going to happen in time, but it's okay. Awesome Car Kid, what's your personal channel? It's just my name. I don't even know if it's live, to be honest. I haven't touched it in a while. But if we do start doing any kind of vlogs on that channel, I'll definitely let you guys know for sure. Dell says, is my MCU going bad? The web browser became useless over a year ago with a dozen attempts by Tesla to fix it.
That could be MCU, or it could just be that the browser is so old. It's a really old browser.
The browser's really crappy to begin with.
It's like an 8-year-old, the software. They did update it a couple of times, but it's just the software's so old. Even if you got it to work, it could not support, most sites won't support it. It's just not worth trying on that. It could be your MCU, but I'm thinking the browser is just out. Because we have another, I would just say it's the browser.
Yep.
The cool thing is we did try out the browser in the MCU2 car, and it scored much higher than the older browser, but we still ran into some problems with it. It's still not perfect.
Yeah. Let's see. CMO, have you tried installing a radar detector in any of your Teslas? I have not. I have several friends that have, though. They just actually tapped into the 12-volt cigarette lighter and ran the wire through the center console, through the dash, and up to the radar detector. But I have not personally. Let's see. When do you think Apple CarPlay will come to Tesla? Ugh. I honestly don't know.
We were hoping for that.
I don't have any Apple devices.
Or Android Auto.
Or yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think, to be honest, this is a great opportunity for Tesla to develop like their own thing.
Yeah, it would be nice though if they did support those, because it would take all that development work away from them, and then it would just create a sandbox.
Exactly, they need to create a sandbox.
But Elon mentioned years ago they were going to allow something like that. They still don't do it. Or even if they're not going to have Android Auto, it would be nice if they had some sort of screen sharing or casting.
Casting would be amazing.
Basically, we were at the Supercharger today, and it was fun. I was trying out Netflix and YouTube and stuff on my car. For the first time I've done it on Model S, but I was still trying to scroll through all these lists of videos, and it would be nice if I had my phone, if I could choose it and then say cast to my car. Just like when we're at home, I can play it to this computer or to that TV. It'd be nice if they just allowed some sort of casting like that, so you could choose it that way.
Yeah.
That just reminded me that one of the new features that we just got in 2020.20.5 is improved controls when you're watching videos. Basically, now you can use the steering wheel controls to pause or play or to go forward or reverse. So that's something that somebody else had tweeted Elon asking if you could do that, and within a few weeks they added that feature. So that's cool. We haven't tried that out yet, but we need to do that.
Yeah. Let's see. Fernando says, when will Tesla start investing in Puerto Rico? There's still no service center here and no direct shipping to the island. Makes the process very difficult. There are no import fees for EVs to the island. Wow. The no import fees is super nice. I don't know. I honestly would have thought maybe they would have thrown something up there, even if it's just like someone who kind of flies in maybe once a month. But I don't know. How many Teslas are on the island?
I don't know.
I don't know. But... yeah, hopefully soon. So speaking about puppies,
we got the zoomies.
They got the zoomies. They're all excited. Here's Brecken too.
So you guys can see he lost a little bit of weight, but he's still feeling okay.
He lost a little bit of weight.
Brecken.
Yeah. He's doing okay.
Yeah, that means it's getting close to dinner time, but they'll be fine for a little bit.
Hi, buddy. Hi. How you doing?
Yeah.
He's just gonna hang out under the table.
Yeah.
So you can see he did lose a little weight. He used to be pretty tubby, but now he's actually at like a healthy weight.
He's down to like 110 or something now. He was like closer to 130.
Brecken, look at the people.
Come on, Brecken. Snacks. Come here. See?
He's very food oriented now. Which
And now the other dogs heard me talking about food, so they're all in here too. So, yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so Scott Fisher who was with me when we were in Amsterdam, and yeah, we saw a fleet of Tesla taxis there too. It was actually pretty awesome. Let's see. Curtin said it cost. Hopefully, I pronounced your name right. It costs around 450 euros to do the memory swap there.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, for like the.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's equivalent to about what I've seen in the United States.
Yep.
And again, the chips that they're doing should last for 15, 20 years, just because they're higher capacity, but also because Tesla has reduced the amount of logging they're doing to the chips.
Yeah.
So it should last for the life of the car.
Yep.
It's really sad though that they didn't have a chip in there that was capable of lasting that long. But it, for those of you who are under warranty coverage, they are fixing it. But yeah, unfortunately, most of the cars are now out of warranty that have the problem.
Yep. Let's see. Diego said, "Can you turn off Sentry mode based on location, like when you pull into your garage?" So actually, you can, and I believe it's under the security. Your Sentry settings will be right there, and you can turn off Sentry at home, at work, and what is the third option? There's a third option.
I don't know. Oh, favorites.
Favorites. So like anything, like if you go to like your parents' house and that's a favorite or something like that. So I actually have Sentry mode turned off at home because I don't really need it. We have other cameras. It's fine. So you definitely can do that, and that will definitely help save any kind of memory to your thumb drive or SSD. So something to definitely look into. Let's see. So Hoopy Bird saying you can share your YouTube vids to your Tesla, but you have to use what is the service to do that? Tesla doesn't make it easy.
Yeah.
You have to go to like a web browser.
Yeah, it's not built in. It would be nice if you could just cast it straight from your device to it. The other thing, as we mentioned last week, kind of unrelated YouTube, but we're talking about Sentry dash cam. It would be nice if you could share those back to your device instead of having to unplug your SSD or your USB drive and then take it inside or plug it into another cable and download it that way. It'd be nice if you could just share it wirelessly to your device if you're in an accident or you have something you want to record to save.
Yep. Let's see. Deathshock said 3 Ridgebacks. Nice, thank you. Yep, a lot of people actually don't know what they are. All 3 are Ridgebacks. TM3 Tech said, FYI, there's one showing in Puerto Rico on Tesla's website. And then Fernando responded and said, few hundred Teslas here, but all the repair or purchases have to be done via Tesla centers in Florida.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully they change that.
That's too bad they don't have like a mobile or mobile service tech there, because that's one thing that's nice. When my car got upgraded this week, I actually dropped it off the service center, but for Eric's car, they just sent out a mobile service tech, and when we dropped my car off, we saw they have so many mobile service vehicles. They had vans and old Model S's that they've converted, so it'd be nice if they had mobile service out there.
Yep. Brandon says, now that Ys are coming off the line with white on white, what will you do with your MSM or Midnight Silver Metallic Model Y? So 99% sure it'll just be traded in. I already got a trade-in offer. It was fine with me, especially given the tax savings on the white on white, and I can move over the plates and stuff like that. So it'll probably just be traded in. A few people have inquired about purchasing it. The only issue with selling it third party or to some of you guys, which I'm totally fine with, but the only issue is I need to make sure that I can get out at least what they were going to offer me for trade-in and the tax savings and the license plate savings.
Yeah.
And when you add those up, it's almost the price of a brand new one. So for selling it to somebody or somebody buying it, I hate to say it, it doesn't really make sense. Just buy a new one. There goes with the whole, like, I can't get one right now because they're back ordered and stuff like that, whatever. But it really doesn't make sense for most people. Now, if someone wants to pay me that price, I'm totally fine selling it to somebody else. That doesn't bother me at all. I just need to make sure that I don't lose money.
Yeah, because I was chatting with somebody who was interested in that, but it's just like, we can't just give it away. And we're not trying to make money. We saw several people when they got the Y delivered in March.
Someone had it for $110,000.
Yeah, they were listing them on eBay for insane amounts, and some people were buying them. We're not trying to sell it to make a profit. We're just trying to, if we can make a better price by trading it in, then we're going to trade it in.
Exactly. Or if somebody wants to pay me the trade-in price and the tax savings and all that,
Yeah,
I'm totally fine with that too.
Because it
If
might
anyone's
still save
interested,
them money.
send me an email.
Because it would still be cheaper for them to do that than to buy it directly from Tesla as a used car.
It definitely would be, but it's only like a couple grand difference.
Yeah.
So if someone's interested in saving a couple grand, there's some great accessories already on it. Hit me up.
But we'll know that, that'll be hopefully sometime later in June, because they
Yeah.
said you got the message that they're building the car probably this week.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll be getting a call in the next week or two scheduling delivery.
The cool kid says, have any of your Teslas gotten vandalized? No. And if they did, I'll break some legs.
We'd be pretty upset, but luckily we do
I'll
have
break
Sentry mode
legs.
on the newer cars, and we still have dash cams on the other ones. So
Yep.
I mean, we'd have footage of it if something did happen, but fortunately we haven't had those problems.
3 things you don't mess with: family and friends, my animals, my pets, and my cars. Don't do it. Let's see. Dodie says, picking up my performance Model Y tomorrow. Curious if Tesla already added a cover to the heat pump and improved build quality post-factory reopening. So some people have reported they do have the cover.
Yeah, I heard
for new builds, and
yeah.
some people said they didn't.
I heard somebody he didn't have a cover. They had just some like sound insulation material. It wasn't like a cover that went over the whole thing. It was just kind of like went in between to keep it from rattling against other parts. But I know that Monroe was saying that if you have a lot of noise, that's actually a problem that they need to fix. It's not. You can't just put noise dampening material on it. You need to have it fixed because there's like air bubbles or something in there that can cause a problem. So it remains to be seen. But hopefully they'll have a service bulletin or something like that to take care of those older cars if it's necessary.
TM3 TX, thank you for the clarification. It is a supercharger in Puerto Rico. I thought it was a service center.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you for that. Let's see. And then back to Amsterdam. We have 600 Teslas currently in Amsterdam driving as taxis. Most of them are Model S85s, but now Model 3s and more recent S and X cars are joining. The whole situation has put some of them bankrupt, though. Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah.
But I will say, when I was there were a lot of Model S's lined up. It was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah.
Definitely the most I've seen anywhere.
Now, speaking of superchargers, we forgot to mention, but we found, the Aspen Park supercharger. Somebody finally found the location. This is very close to us. It's going to be our second closest supercharger. It's just up the hill in Aspen Park, Conifer area, and it's cool because we've been scoping that area out for like 2 or 3 years, waiting to, trying to find where Tesla was going to put it. We had 2 places we kept checking every week or two, and then we started adding a 3rd place, and then we finally found out last week that it's going to be in that first spot, which is a parking lot really close to a Wendy's, the Qdoba, and a King Soopers grocery store. So we're excited about that because that'll really help people coming in the metro area from the west of the central mountains of Colorado. So nice location for a supercharger.
Definitely. Let's see. Jeff says, I'll be leaving my Model Y at an airport for a little over a week. Would you suggest leaving Sentry mode on or off while I'm gone? My concern would be how much battery it'll consume while I'm gone. If you're only going to be gone a week, I would charge to 80% and leave it on.
Yeah.
It won't consume that much.
And one thing
a lot of people have figured out it's only 3 to 5% a day, I think they said.
And one thing you can do too is to turn off the option to keep Smart Summon enabled, because you're not going to be using Smart Summon. That we don't have it turned on any of our cars. So if you turn that off, that will help reduce the battery usage even more.
Yep. Brandon said might be Colorado's first Y trade-in. I'm 99.9% sure it will be. It might be the first Model Y trade-in ever. So I don't know.
And it's going right for another Model Y. It's like,
I know.
It's like it's wrong. It's the wrong color.
It's the wrong color. I can't live with this.
It's a rough life.
I mean, a little dramatic, maybe. But we really like the white exterior. Really, really like the white interior.
Yeah. It was neat because when we
The
went
MSM though, I'm super happy with the Y.
It's a nice color, especially with those space gray wheels from T-Sportline that we have.
You bet.
But it was cool because when we drove my car to drop it off at the service center, I was like, oh, there's a Model Y. So I parked right next to it, and I didn't even realize that it had the white interior until Eric came and got in my car. I was like, oh, wow, I think that's the first white interior Model Y I've seen.
Yeah, same here. David said, with the prices going down on Teslas, do you think they'll continue to go down on cost and maybe make them even more affordable? Definitely. We've actually seen this 3 years ago when I bought the 100D.
Oh, yeah.
It was $117,000 is what I paid.
I know.
Actually, I think I paid $117,500.
Yeah.
And now that same thing is $82.
Yeah, it's still not cheap, but that is a huge price drop.
Huge price drop.
And the cars are better today.
Exactly.
More features, more functionality. It's amazing. Yeah, my car again, 2017. Totally pleased with it. I'm not really interested in upgrading right now because it would trade in, having to buy a new one, probably would cost me 30, 40,000. That MCU upgrade was good enough for me. But yeah, if you're looking at one, also there's used ones. It's helping the used prices come down. There's more older Teslas out there, and I've seen some Model S's selling in 30,000 range.
But also on that note, like we just saw Model S and X got a $5,000 price decrease.
Wow.
And
yeah.
Model 3 just got a $2,000 price decrease. So definitely as things become more efficient on the line and everything, we're definitely going to see that price drop. It's just going to keep dropping. So definitely look forward to that. Wayne says, love the channel. Thank you, Wayne. Really appreciate you hanging out. Bryson said, do you think Tesla will add Model Y to the referral program soon? Looking to order in the next few weeks. So they didn't add Model 3 until basically all the pre-orders were delivered.
Yeah, I bet it won't be till next year.
It's not going to be till 2021 at the earliest would be my guess.
I mean, unless sales totally came to a stop.
Yeah.
But the economy is starting to pick back up a little bit. Some people are going back to work. Not everybody.
They're still selling every single Model Y they produce because they're so hot.
And there's still such a long wait that I don't think they're going to add the referral program for the Y anytime soon. The cool thing though is if you do own multiple Teslas and you don't have free supercharging on your Model Y, if you have another car, or if you use the referral code, then you can actually use free miles on that Model Y.
Yeah, and so I've been getting a lot of people emailing me and messaging me on different social media platforms asking, I want to use a referral code for Model Y. When will it open? One, really appreciate the support. Thank you guys. But two, you only get 1,000 free supercharging miles. And if you add that up, it's only like 50, maybe $100.
It depends on the price of electricity and where you live. So it could vary greatly.
It's really not as beneficial as like the 5,000 it used to be, or like the $1,000 off that it once was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my response to all these people have been, if you really want the car, don't let that hold you back. Because as nice of a perk as it is, it's only max probably $100.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of it, it's not like you're gaining a whole lot like the referral program used to be. It is still nice. Don't get me wrong, but at the same point, like I wouldn't let that hold.
I wouldn't delay a purchase because of it. Yeah.
I wouldn't let that hold it up. Just doing Florida. I've been really out of the loop lately with Tesla news of what happened with Battery Day. Been delayed. I think they said June. But, I mean, it's supposed to have been a while ago, and they've been pushing it. Wouldn't surprise me if it gets pushed once again.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything on that, and we're already into June, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess hopefully we hear something
still be finalizing some things, because again, Elon had mentioned they were going to it might be announced in California, it might be announced in Texas. So maybe they're still working on some real estate acquisition there in Texas. There's been some rumors about a place, a little town just like east of Austin, but I haven't seen any finalized, real estate announcements there.
Yep. 79Z says, good night from Poland. Good night. Thank you for joining. Wayne said, my wife and I are considering a Model 3 or Y, but our concern is we don't want to pay a ton for auto repairs after the 4-year 50 warranty is over. We heard horror stories. Any thoughts? We haven't really had any issues. I mean, you're going to have some occasionally. My suggestion would be is if you're concerned with that, maybe look into the extended warranty.
I don't know if they have an extended warranty for the Y yet, though.
Well, I mean, they're not up with 4 years, 50,000 miles, so they have a little time. But they did that same thing with the 3.
Also, there are third-party companies now that do offer extended warranties on like the 3 and probably the Y.
Real quick, sorry, we're going to pause for a sec. We need to check, I'm getting an error saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Are we? Can we get thumbs up in chat if everything's working okay?
I'm showing the network still good. So
okay. So I don't know what's up with YouTube then. Whatever. Okay, we'll keep going. But by the time that 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty is up, you can get the extended. Okay, now it's excellent condition again. You can get the extended warranty if that is something that concerns you. Definitely something you can think. I think, what is it, like 3,000 for another?
They don't offer it on the 3 or the Y yet. That's what I'm saying. It's
what is it on S?
I haven't looked at the price on else. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not that cheap though. So that's why the other parties may be slightly cheaper, and they do work directly with Tesla. on the warranty work. So they'll basically, if you have their coverage, they will contact them and get payment. Whenever you're in the service center.
I mean, there's other options, but I mean, we haven't had any issues, so there's that.
Basically to date, this MCU update, which I just paid the $2,500 for, that's the first time I've ever paid anything, and that was not because of a problem. It was because of an upgrade to the car to bring it up to like 2020.
Yeah. Let's see. Brandon says you guys love the white, and then there's me selling for a white 3. Miss the MSM 3, but don't miss the SR Plus. Yeah, I mean, I've really grown to like the MSM, Midnight Silver Metallic color. That's actually the similar color to what my Ford Fusion was before I got into Teslas, as well as a few other cars before that. But I don't know. I'm just a sucker for the white. I have some really cool plans with what I want to do to it. So...
Yeah, we got the accessories ready. We're just waiting for the car.
Yeah. Let's see. David said, do you think there will be a range increase on the Y like they've done with other Teslas on the line? So they really haven't done anything with 3. I don't expect them to do anything with Y.
They did have one increase for the 3 after it first came out, because originally it was like 280 or something, or 290, and then they bumped it up to like 310 or 325. Something.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
It wasn't a huge increase, but it was a few miles.
I don't expect anything to change on Y for probably like a year.
Yeah, it's
at least.
brand new. So.
Yeah, being how new it is, I don't expect them to do any big changes like that.
And if there is some huge announcement from Battery Day, they're not going to go start putting that in the car the next day. I don't think they're going to still continue to sell these, and maybe that'll be on the Cybertruck or the Roadster or the Plaid S. But I don't think they're going to swap out and put in all new batteries in the existing cars anytime soon.
I still don't think so. For Battery Day, I still don't think anything they talk about is going to go into 3 or Y. Or really even S and X right away. Definitely Plaid S and X might be the first to see any kind of new battery technology. But I really think they're going to announce it and not have it really ready until Cybertruck and Roadster. Maybe by then they'll add it to 3 and Y, but we're still talking a couple years away. Nothing recent. Dell says, has anyone gotten premium connectivity? In what fashion? Like... the subscription, maybe?
So like some cars were grandfathered in, have it for free.
Right.
Other ones you get it free for like a year. But for new, some people, if they've owned it for more than a year, they have to start paying that $9.99 a month.
So actually, the Performance Model 3 no longer has the premium connectivity. I'm not currently paying for it because it's not in the country yet. But when it gets back, I'll pay for it again. It's kind of nice. Let's see. Retro Skier said, I can share videos through the Tesla app. When you click on the share button click the Tesla app, the video loads in the YouTube app in the car.
I tried that in Android.
Works on iPhone.
We should try that with the iPad and see, because
I do have an iPad.
That would be a cool feature, because I had seen people talking about it in the past, and I've tried taking it and sharing it, and it doesn't do anything. So we'll have to do an Android versus like an iPhone.
The only reason I have an iPad is because that's the only thing that works with my what is that?
The V-Box or
the
whatever?
V-Box. They don't have Android apps, only Apple. Figures. David also said, when's that beautiful Model 3 coming back home to Colorado? Miss seeing the videos of your Model 3. As do I. So hopefully soon. Still working out different details.
Those are crossing fingers. That's not the middle finger.
Oh, I thought you were giving people the middle finger. I was like,
I'm crossing fingers like...
Okay, wow. I was like, whoa. Yeah, so hopefully it gets here soon. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Like I was just doing.
Like he was doing. He was
you
not
just can't see. You got to zoom into my camera and then
zoom
you
in.
Crossing. Well,
that does not look like
there you're crossing my fingers.
I was like, it doesn't look like crossing fingers at all. Wow. Okay. Don't demonetize us, please. Let's see. No idea when Battery Day is officially. I think they said someday in June. I just don't remember.
Originally, he said, third week of May. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, given the whole situation, everything's getting pushed back. Hoopy Bird said works on Android as well.
Oh, really? Okay, so maybe
we're doing it wrong. But that's how I send we got the zoomies again.
Yeah, we'll have to try that again, because that's I knew people had said that worked, and then I tried it. It didn't work. But you know what? Now I've got MCU2. We'll go give that a try.
Yup. Let's see. I'm gonna try to catch up real quick. Have you driven the Porsche Taycan? No. Porsche refuses to return my calls. Thank you. Y'all are dead to me. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Porsche. I was actually calling. I didn't even mention making a video. I just said I was an interested buyer because, I mean, you never know. You never know what I'd buy. And they just don't want to call me back. So
Yeah, and it might not just be you. It
what
could
it
just
is.
be that they're just not trying to sell it, because we've seen that with other companies. They don't really try to sell the cars, because we went talked to Jaguar.
yeah, Jaguar didn't want to sell me
They
a car
wouldn't even
either.
talk with us. They didn't want to. And here we are in like a $117,000 car driving in, saying, "Can we test drive that?" They don't even return our calls.
Okay. I gotta close the door because dogs are going crazy. They're knocking over stuff. Okay. Real quick. Let's see. I want the Model Y, but need to sell my Model 3. Should I trade it in or try to sell it on my own to get the most back? Great question. So, depending on your state, see what they offer for trade-in tax credits. Here in Colorado, we can benefit from that. So, if I trade in a $50,000 trade-in for a $60,000 car, I only have to pay taxes on that $10,000 delta. That saves a ton of money. Also, I can transfer my license plates from the old car to the new car. That also will save money. So see if you have anything like that. If you don't, well, also to see what Tesla's trade-in value is. But definitely check out places like CarMax and stuff like that. They're very easy to sell cars to. I've actually sold to them in the past. Sometimes they offered me more than dealers. Sometimes they didn't. So be prepared for that. But you can also try selling it on your own as well. There's a lot of different options. Just selling it on your own is a little bit riskier because you might be without a car for a while until your new one comes in, or you might have to float your current Model 3 loan until you can sell it. So a couple things to just kind of keep in mind.
And I was just going to jump in here back to the so again, for those of you who didn't hear earlier, we had a big storm come through, knocked down at least 4 power poles in our neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood is without power. But we are still running on our solar. All this brought to you via Tesla Solar and our power walls. And we are actually, it's almost 7:30.
Here's the power poles.
It's almost 7:30 p.m. here in Colorado, and we're still generating over 2.1 kilowatts, which is more than that's more than our household is using.
Check that out.
Oh, I don't know if you can see that.
I mean, I can't really zoom in too much.
Let me zoom in here. But basically, we are actually even charging our power walls. So it's it's sending.
You gotta hold it at like an angle.
It's sending 0.8 kilowatts back to the power walls. We're actually back up to 83%. When the power walls went, we were down to like 78. So we've added 5% back to the power walls, and this is just with a couple kilowatts. Because it's the sun's going down behind the mountains, but we are totally powering the house. Yeah. And charging our power walls. And again, it's going to be a multi-day outage because all of the power poles in our neighborhood are down. And we're not worried at all.
One of the firemen in the area actually was talking with the police officer that was holding people, well, not holding people back, but making sure people don't go near it, and said that Excel said there are a bunch of downed power lines all throughout the Denver metro area.
Again, yeah.
And it's going to be a while until they can even get out here. And actually, here's the map of
as of a couple hours ago,
without power. Now those are just cases. So if you click on like the 5,
go to excelenergy.com/outage map, like in the browser.
So yeah, sometimes like if you click on them, you can enhance it even more so. And so there's a lot of people right now without power. I'll see what I can do to find that. So nice thing, we're completely on solar and we're living it up here. Let's see. Diego said Jay Leno was on with the Taycan this past Wednesday. Yeah, I didn't see that episode, but I'm not surprised. He can get whatever car he wants. Reddy said, if they announce a 1,000,000-mile or longer range, cheaper battery, will current Model 3 or Model Y batteries be swapped with new battery technology in the future? They kind of said they would do that a while back.
It's possible. I can see maybe sometime in the future, once they've got all the gigafactories and terafactories all around the world, maybe they can go more into the battery business and not focus so much on cars and upgrade a lot of those existing cars. So that would be nice. They have in the past, they allowed a few people to upgrade their cars, but it was rare. But there has also been some instances where if the battery is failing, they've replaced it with a higher capacity battery. So if they can do that, if they keep the connections, if the batteries are still the same size, they should still be able to do that in the future, replace them with a newer technology. Or as Tesla continues to grow and sell more cars, there's going to be third-party companies that will probably come out with compatible batteries. There are already people who will do this service for you. Just as we were talking about with the MCU memory upgrade, these same companies will swap out a battery for you. So if you have like an S60, you can change it to, you know, like an S85 or an S90. So other people do it for you if Tesla won't.
Yeah. So here's that map that we were kind of talking about a little earlier. So this is our power company. You can actually look in here if you go in Denver. You can click on that. We have 35,000 people out at this zone. Down
and if you zoom
here,
in, it shows you like more
we got
precise.
5,000. Yeah. So like if you keep zooming in, it'll break it up.
So
it's not just like 5 people right there. There's 28 that have been impacted.
Yeah.
Here you have 4,900.
So it's a huge problem. So we've got 4 poles down, and there could be hundreds or thousands of poles down around Denver area. I don't know, or hundreds of lines. Maybe not the poles, but our poles are totally down. They are snapped off, laying in the street and laying in people's yards and driveways. So it's going to be multiple days before our neighbors get power again. We did hear a couple neighbors have their generators running. Not looking forward to that, because when we had an outage last year, they had their generator running for like 46 hours and 53 minutes, something like that. Not
And
that
I
I'm
would just
counting.
like to point that out, that Tesla system is quiet.
Totally quiet. You can only thing
Just
you'll hear
saying.
is if you're like standing right next to a power wall, you might hear a brief hum or a light hum because there's a good little cooling fan in there. But compared to a generator, which you can hear like a block away, the Tesla power walls are totally silent, and there's no fumes. You don't have to fill them up with gas. You know, some people can get natural gas generators, but that's still going to be loud.
Yep. Let's see. We're going to jump back into some questions and comments. Rocco Tesla said, love you guys. We love you. Thank you for joining and hanging out with us. Bailey said, I have a 2017 Model S, Autopilot 2, MCU 1. I did buy FSD. Do you think I'll get MCU 2? I have a feeling anybody with Autopilot 2 and MCU 1 won't be compatible with FSD.
I've heard of some cars getting upgraded, even with the old Autopilot 2, but it's still going to be slow, and you're not going to have.
It's still going to be slow, and you're not
features.
going to see all that visualization.
Yeah.
They're not upgrading MCU for people
Unless you pay for it.
Unless you pay for it. So even if you already did buy FSD, even like we did. So my advice though is if you plan on keeping the car and have the ability, I would definitely spring for the MCU2 upgrade. It is $2,500, but it brings your car almost on level
like it's a 2020 car again. And again, you don't have to do it now too. You don't have to get it done at the same time as the full self-driving. If you just want to get the full self-driving done now, it should work.
Yeah.
But if in a year or so you really start seeing your problem with it, your car rebooting or the screen taking forever to refresh, you can always do that at a later date. But if you're starting to see those problems now and you're still under warranty, definitely contact Tesla and get it taken care of while it's under warranty. Now, Tesla won't, for most people, they're not allowing you to immediately upgrade to for free as part of a warranty coverage. You're basically going to get covered with the same MCU that you already have installed in the car. So you can't say, I'm having problems with the MCU 1, I want to get MCU 2 installed. They're not going to do that. They'll offer you either a refurbished or a brand new MCU 1, or they might move you to the front of the line if you do want to pay for MCU 2.
Right. Yep. Let's see. Rob says, did you see Monroe's video about the foam and the door pillar that he was dissatisfied with on the Y? We did. I don't understand why they literally used one of those like expandable foam packs. That
was
seemed
weird.
odd to me.
It looked weird, and I didn't. Yeah.
I don't really understand that. So thoughts on that? Odd.
Yeah.
Odd choice.
And we don't know, you know, he took his car apart to see that. We're
Yeah.
not going to take our car apart to see if that's like that.
I mean, if I'm going to trade it in, let's tear that puppy. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah.
Just kidding.
Only thing is, you know, when we did take off the bumper to put on that tow hitch, so we do have a tow hitch, but we didn't see any problems. The only problem we saw was that one screw or bolt. It was hard to get undone. But other than that, the car's been really good. Very few problems. Just really minor, like nut and bolt here and there, plastic covers.
Yep.
Other than that, it's been a great car.
Okay. Curtin says premium connectivity expired for many users, so you need to book the service for around €9.9 a month in Germany. Can you tell us about what will stop working without the premium connectivity service? I'm happy you asked because I have it pulled up right here. So this is just on Model 3, but it'll let you see connectivity premium, what is included and what isn't. So if you want satellite maps with live traffic visualization, you will need to subscribe to premium connectivity. Keep in mind though, The navigation will still use traffic data. You will just not get the live traffic visualizations. There's been some miscommunication on that. In-car internet streaming music and media will go away. Video streaming will go away. Car karaoke will go away. And internet browser will go away. So anything that uses a large bandwidth amount, basically.
Yeah. Now, one thing is, for those of you who like don't really know, you can still use your phone as like a mobile hotspot,
yep,
and still get
while
a lot
driving.
of those features. So you could still like stream music or see some of these other things. They still turn some things off. So even if you do use your phone, if you don't have premium connectivity, you won't have 100% of the same functionality, but you might be able to get like streaming music or a few of these other things back.
Yeah. Carl is asking or saying, I think Elon wanted to show off that the Gigafactory 3 was running at full steam when the pandemic halted it. Do you think Battery Day will still be at Giga 3 or elsewhere? I think Battery Day is going to be in Texas at the new Cybertruck spot.
Yeah, I've heard people calling it the Terrafactory. And what's funny is if you search for Terrafactory on Google Maps,
you actually find a location in Texas.
But that's probably some user went and put that. Anybody
Yep.
can add locations and stuff, and until they get it reported, it'll show up there. So.
Yep. Brent said, if you plan to use your vehicle in addition to personal use to subsidize the cost to get the Model Y or wait for Cybertruck. Do you plan to use your vehicle in addition to personal use?
Like Turo or Uber or something like that.
I mean, I'm just busy enough with everything, so I don't really get a chance to.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of people that actually do Uber in their car. Not that they need to, but because it's kind of a fun way to get out and talk to people. I don't know how that's all working right now with everything. But, I mean, some people I actually know were able to get their car because of their Turo and Uber income.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's really kind of what works best for you, I think,
And
in that situation.
Scott used to love doing Uber in his Model S.
Yeah.
And he had fun doing it, but he hasn't done that a lot recently. I think, I don't know. He stopped doing it. He's busy with work, we'll say that. So
Yeah.
his day job, so he hasn't had time to do it for the last few months.
Yeah. Let's see. Steve said he is picking up his Model Y tomorrow. No touch pickup. Congratulations on the Y. If you take some photos and tweet them, definitely tag me on them. I would love to see them.
We're looking forward to our next delivery because we don't know how it will change. Because basically, we took delivery of this Model Y back, I think it was like March 20th or so, and that was right when things were starting to get locked down. So it wasn't no touch yet. But and at the time in Colorado, you still had to sign some actual documents. But I think they were trying to work towards the no touch. And I think even like a week later, people were saying that that's what they had. So our delivery this time will be no touch.
It can't be no touch because of trade-in.
Yeah.
So they can't unfortunately do that if you're doing a trade-in.
That's a little different, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes.
Might be different. Who knows though? Everybody might have masks on this time.
Yeah.
We don't know.
John says, what do you guys do for a living when not YouTubing? So I actually work in biotech and have a few side businesses. And
I'm a web programmer. Work for a telecommunications company currently.
So yeah, we stay busy. That's how I like it. Let's see. Diego said, do you have any videos with your not a flamethrower? I believe I do, but I also teamed up with Dan at What's Inside, and we did some videos on his channel. We torched a mannequin. We played
like
hot potato with an exploding fire extinguisher. We torched an iPhone. Yeah, we had some fun stuff on his channel. Definitely check it out. I think it's on his What's Inside family channel.
Yeah, and that was 2018 or something.
That was like 2 years ago.
It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Tesla wasn't allowed to ship those out, so Eric actually drove from Colorado all the way out to California for the event, and then drove back. And didn't you bring back somebody else?
No. The big thing for that event is I was actually supposed to be in Sweden for work, and I bailed on a company-wide trip to Sweden.
Yeah.
They
So
wanted everyone to be at.
Yeah.
I bailed on that so I could go drive out to California, pick up my not a flamethrower. So I got a lot of flack for that. I still get flack for that because I'm not in any of the photos. Whatever. I had a lot of fun still, so I'm happy. Sorry if any of you are watching this from work.
Yeah, you should have done a Zoom call, but back then people didn't really use Zoom like they do today.
I mean, I was pretty busy in LA. We were having a lot of fun.
Making s'mores with a flamethrower.
Yeah. Kieran said, why did all your Teslas need service this week? So we'll kind of run over it real quick. The Model Y charging pad we thought wasn't working. It is. It's just not compatible. The coils aren't in the right spot for any of the Samsung S20s.
The latest one. It
now,
worked fine with the S10.
Before I get it in the comment section, everyone's going to say buy an Apple device. I know. It always happens. But yeah, it worked for what did he had the S10.
Yeah, and you had that before, and worked previously. The 3 worked fine with the S20s.
So they redesigned something about it, and then his Model S.
I got the MCU2 upgrade and the Autopilot 3 upgrade, so it was totally a voluntary service
visit. And then Scott's car actually threw some error codes and lost power steering after an update.
And Autopilot.
So we dropped it off yesterday, and they'll get to it first thing Monday. We don't know, though, was it the update that caused it, or was that just a coincidence?
Yeah.
And
so wait and hear back on that one. We don't know if we're going to actually need to get something fixed on that or not.
So, I mean, 2 of them, his car and my car, basically like, meh, nothing. Still unsure about Scott's car. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, sorry, yawning. Busy day. On said, do you know if your white on white Y will come with a case cover over the heat pump? No idea yet, but you bet I'm going to be tearing that thing apart. Maybe even in the Tesla lot. We'll just tear it apart then. They probably would not like that. I will not do it there. We'll drive across the street. Let's see. Young Chirp said basic autopilot should come standard on all Teslas. And it does.
Yep.
So that's pretty exciting. It's built in. So let's see. Where was I? Do we know when the Model Y will become available in Europe? Have you heard anything about this? I think they said 2021 originally, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard. But it will be interesting if they move that up, if they're able to. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess we'll see kind of how the situation works. Let's see.
But definitely when the Gigafactory is online in Berlin, but I don't know if that's going to be happening this year or sometime early next year.
On any wind damage at your place. So actually, we are powering this whole live stream off our Tesla solar and Powerwall systems because we have 4 down power poles in our neighborhood and nobody else has power besides us and the 2 homes with noisy gas generators right now. I'll go ahead and show you guys some pictures of what it looked like earlier. We actually had to get out there and cut up one of the trees that fell, broke one of our fences.
Yeah, we had our Ego battery-powered chainsaw and took care of this half of a crabapple tree and just took a few minutes.
But here, this is the police. And then here you have a down power line. Better picture of that down power line here. There's actually
transformer.
Or transformer, yeah. There's actually 1 more over here, and then 2 more on this side that are all down. There's the other one that fell, took out a neighbor's shed. Boom.
Yeah. Oops. You can see it just snapped it off.
Snapped it right off. Yeah. We lost. I mean, this tree. Oh, this tree was dead to begin with. There's no leaves on it, as you can see. But this is kind of in like the goalie behind the house. This is probably about a 60-foot tree that fell over. Just snapped it.
Yeah, it's not
here
at
in
the base.
Front yard. This is what we had to cut up. This was all on this side, and then broke.
Scott sent a picture there in the chat where it's got all the branches. I don't know if.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Next picture. This is down by the post office. Big tree fell, and the retirement home. That was a massive, healthy, live tree.
Yeah, like a blue spruce or something. Probably like 60 feet tall, and it just blew over and landed on a gazebo there behind the fence.
Yep. So, yeah, definitely no power here. Probably not going to have grid power for a couple days, but to be honest, don't care. It's totally fine with us. Only thing that I don't like is having to hear the gas generators of the neighbors. Sorry if you're listening. It is what it is. Let's see. But yeah, hopefully you guys are safe down at your place. There's a lot going on all around Denver.
We are still getting solar, though. It is now 7:44 p.m. in Colorado, where we are at. We're only getting 200 watts of power, but we are powering the house with solar, and the power walls are taking care of the rest. So right now, about 20% of our usage is from solar, and the other 80% is from the power walls. Power walls are at 83%, so no problem going through the night. We could probably go through several days of rain if we had rain, but since it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, the Powerwall should probably be back up to 100% by like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
and then we'll be fine. We're good. No matter how long it takes for Excel to get those power poles replaced, we don't have a problem.
Nope. Evan said, glad to see you guys are doing live chats. Been watching you for a long time. Kept you guys company during the long range test in the Model 3.
Oh,
wow, you go
that.
way back. Thank you for that. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. 606 miles, by the way.
In a Model 3.
A Model 3 with one charge to start, and then we did everything after that. So it was pretty awesome. The lobby cat said, my Model 3 just got scratched up in the wind by downtown.
Uh-oh.
I cry face for you,
yeah,
too.
that wind came out of nowhere. It was crazy.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. Let's see. Luckily, we didn't have any, like, thing fall on our cars. They were all in the garage, but yikes. I will say, the power pole that fell next door, our neighbors normally park a car right where it fell.
Yeah.
Luckily they didn't have that car there today, or else that could have been bad. Steven says, I got a text from Tesla Tuesday saying 2 to 4 weeks for delivery. Is that accurate? Do they keep dates? There's a lot that goes into play on that. But I would generally say 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier because we got a similar text, but our text said 10 days. It would be built within 10 days and then delivered later in the month. But hopefully that means that you're in that, maybe if not the first group of ones to get deliveries in June,
you're
maybe
right behind
the
that.
second group. So we're thinking, we don't know for sure, but we're thinking that the 10-day ones, it's a little more definite. 10 days is shorter than 2 weeks. So, but there's still hope that you could get yours by the end of June.
Yep. Brock said, my birthday is in June. Happy birthday. Mine is actually in June too. I don't know how next week live stream is going to be because my birthday is actually next Saturday. I don't know if I'll be live streaming. I don't know what I'll be doing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll have to live stream gaming on Twitch so I can drink. I don't know.
Maybe we'll have a new Model Y by then. So you can
Maybe we'll have a new Model Y. It would be
Y.
really nice to get it on my birthday, but no pressure, Tesla.
Or before.
Let's see. Kieran said, hopefully I pronounced that right. Those couches, seats are awesome. How did you make them? I actually have a YouTube video up. Definitely check it out. I think it was, 6 months ago I made it?
Maybe a little more. Yeah, maybe 9,
a year.
something like that. 9,
but
12.
basically, I looked on eBay and bought some third row seats from Model X, totaled cars, and created the bases myself, and then bolted those down and made seats out of them. And you can put them all together and have like a little couch.
They got cup holders.
Cup holders. We need to get the USBs to work.
Yeah, so it still has those, but they don't work yet. The
right?
headrests don't fold down, but they're good.
There. Yeah, so...
And the seatbelts do work, so...
Seatbelts work.
Always have the seatbelt on at the beginning of the chat, so they are still all integrated there. So it's...
Love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is your wish list for future Tesla features? Okay, if you had to pick one thing, what do you want to see, David?
Let me think. Like on the current cars or the... Or just, I don't know. I don't know. Wow.
I would like to see some more luxury items for the higher end models.
Yeah, definitely help the S and X or whatever higher end models.
I want to see a refresh
in
S and X.
Because right now they have brought the prices down, but there's some things they have on the 3 and the Y they don't have on the S and X yet, and they're not like just today or yesterday we were driving my car and I went to put my face mask down, and it's like I don't have a pocket in the door to put it in, whereas on the Y when we drove that we did. Yeah. It's just little small things, or like the little coat hooks. Those aren't huge, but it would be nice if they finally brought those to the S and X.
You bet.
But I mean, I'm happy with the range. 330 we're still only have like 1% degradation in the S100D from 2017. So they keep adding range. 400 would be nice. But, I don't think I need 500 because I'm not going to drive a car 500 miles nonstop. You're going to always have to supercharge. And right now with 300, that's a good sweet spot for me. I'll take 400, but I don't need 500 or 600.
Yeah. Brent said, did you like your Ego equipment? I just got their lawnmower and love it. We actually started out with their lawnmower. Loved it so much. We ended up getting the string trimmer, which I have a video on the lawnmower and string trimmer, actually. And then we love the string trimmer so much, we went ahead and bought one for my dad for
he loves it.
Father's
with
Day.
The auto load,
because it auto loads, which is freaking amazing.
And we bought the chainsaw. We love those so much. We bought the chainsaw,
and we need to look at the blower. Someone mentioned that too.
We've been wanting that. But so with the chainsaw, we just used it today after the storm. We had half of a crabapple tree, and with a couple minutes, we were out there chopping the tree up, and we have multiple batteries. The cool thing is we have a string trimmer, the lawnmower, and the chainsaw all the batteries are interchangeable. And so we actually, the chainsaw battery, I used it a couple weeks ago and we didn't recharge it. We actually just grabbed the battery out of the lawnmower, stuck it on the chainsaw, and it was able to take care of the entire crabapple tree.
Yeah, we are super happy with the Ego lineup. Have had zero problems, and the fact that we can swap the batteries from one unit to the other, and they have different battery size possibilities too, is actually really nice.
Yeah, and we have like there, it's not a supercharger, but we have like a fast charger that has a fan built in. When you buy it, it comes with like a slower charger, but I think when we bought the lawnmower, or when we got the lawnmower, it came with one that has a fan in it, so it helps keep the battery at a good temperature, and it's able to charge it that much faster. So you can use any of the batteries on that.
Yep. We're gonna blow through some of these comments and questions real quick because we got a lot now. On said, how long will your power walls last? They'll easily last us through the next day until we get sun again. We did one test and we were at 208 hours off grid.
Yeah, and that was with solar.
Just fine.
If we don't have solar, then they would probably, depends, we would cut our usage back, but we could probably go 2 to 3 days without solar. But since we do have solar, they'll just get recharged every day, and we can go indefinitely. We could go weeks or months off the grid.
Yeah. Curtin said, how did you actually get an internet connection without grid power? So since we have our power walls and everything, we can supply power to
the router, cable
modems and all that.
The cool thing is the power lines, our cable is on a different line than what the power is on, at least where the way it routes through our neighborhood. And the cable lines go one down one street, the power on another. So our cable is still up, the cable service.
Yeah. Brent says, will you guys be adopting families of 4 anytime soon? LOL. I mean, housework could use some help. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Diego said, selling my Nissan Maxima this week to Carvana. Did you guys have trade-in scrutinized when you did yours through CarMax or Carvana? So the car I sold through CarMax was my old Ford Fusion, and I had no issues. So I didn't, I mean, they looked at it, test drove it real quick, gave me an offer that was actually more than I was expecting. So I was like, fine, take it. I didn't even say anything. So I'm not sure. I haven't experienced anything heavily scrutinized. Real quick, Brent, oh, hold on. I got to ban somebody for doing a bunch of spam messages. Please don't do that. Brent McKinney, huge thank you for the $5 super chat. He said, sweet guys, thanks for answering questions and your enthusiasm for electrification. Thank you for hanging out and yeah, just commenting and hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. Marky Marty says, are power walls worth it?
We think so, especially on a day like today when we have a storm. It knocks out all the power poles in our neighborhood. None of our neighbors have power except for, except the one with the generator, but we are going live and strong. We're coming to you live with our power walls. And you don't necessarily need 4 power walls, but I definitely would, if you're going to get power walls, I would definitely say get at least 2 so you can do that whole house backup. Right now the sun just went behind the mountains. We're not getting any more solar right now, but our power walls are charging the house at 1.7 kilowatts. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in here.
1.5 kilowatts.
Okay, it changes. So you can see that basically the power walls are charged up to 82%, and they're providing 100% of our power. You can see the grid is out, but they're totally worth it, especially in these extended day outages. We had an outage with a blizzard last year. It was like 2 hours, 2 days. And before that, we had never had an outage of more than like 2 hours in like 20 years that I've lived in this town. And now just in the last year, it's just like something every couple of months. I don't know what the infrastructure is going bad, or the world is trying to say good on you for getting Tesla. But also maybe all these poles are just old and they're all starting to split. And with a storm like today,
transformers are old too.
Yeah, the transformer definitely needs to replace Excel.
Yeah. So Evan said made some money off Tesla stocks, waiting on a blue Model Y. Thanks for everything. Congrats on the Tesla stock payoff. It's a pretty fun ride. And congrats on the Model Y too. That's amazing. Aaron said, my birthday is next Sunday. Happy early birthday. On said, my brother's birthday is also June 13th. Well, I mean, basically we have to hang out then. Let's see. Curtin said, did you guys get a weather warning from Tesla to get the power walls into off-grid mode? Yes. So they actually issued a storm watch, which is actually that yellow border that you saw around the entire app.
Yeah,
that makes it so the power walls will not drain at all unless we lose power.
So let me go back to this again here.
There you go.
So basically, normally that yellow border is not there. That's showing up to indicate that the grid is totally down. So you can see why there's an X here. We're not getting anything from grid. The sun went behind the mountain, so no solar. So it does show here too, underneath that it says storm watch, and that way we can tell that if the grid does come back up, it will start charging those power walls up from the grid. But since we don't have any power poles in our neighborhood, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, we're not going to have power poles here for probably a couple days to a week. But yeah, we did get that from Tesla. Unfortunately, though, we didn't get Stormwatch until probably 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, this was a fast-moving storm. Normally,
very fast and very off. We got the message from the National Weather Service or something, and then that's right when Tesla issued their Stormwatch, and then we got it maybe 20, 30 minutes after that.
And basically, as soon as the that warning goes out, Tesla is notified, and then they send out notification to our phones, our mobile devices, and to our Powerwalls saying start charging via the grid. And so we got notification that Stormwatch was enabled. If you show the daily graph for today, you can see that it started charging the Powerwalls from the grid. But then within 15 minutes, the storm hit. Normally we have more notice, but this is a really fast-moving storm with 80 or miles per hour or stronger winds.
Yeah. Sydney EV says hello from Sydney, Australia. Hello, I was actually supposed to be in Australia this year. Probably not going to happen now because of the situation. But I will be coming to Australia and New Zealand, so keep an eye out for that. Let's see. Glad I pronounced your name right. Thank you. I always feel bad if I don't, so I'm glad to hear I did. Let's see. James says, will the Model 3 or Y ever get a black headliner? Probably not, just for simplicity on the line, but like you mentioned, aftermarket options, there are several. It's I think right around 2,000 to 2,500 aftermarket though. Kieran also said they definitely should add interior ambient RGB lighting like some of the aftermarket light tubes for some Model 3 owners get. I agree. That'd be pretty sweet. Very futuristic vibe there. I love it. Sydney EV said, will you be getting roof racks on the Model Y, and are you concerned about how they're mounted on the Model 3 attached to the glass? I will not be doing roof racks on Model Y. I bought it for the Model 3, but I never even installed it. Putting something on top with that glass roof scares the crap out of me, especially on Y. It's taller, so we went ahead with the hitch option.
Yeah. About the only thing, if we did have a roof rack, I don't think I would put a bike up there.
Definitely not a bike.
Just because the fork, if you don't put it up just right and you put it down, you might chip the glass. I could see maybe having a cargo carrier up there, but that's really going to affect the range. But that's why we got the Y, because it has a lot more cargo room, and with the tow hitch, you can just put a bike rack or cargo carrier back there.
Yep. Let's see. I do not know how to pronounce that username. CHRITHH. Anyway, I have a 2017 Model X and a 2020 Model 3. Model 3 has the upgraded MCU. Should I upgrade the Model X MCU? Again, it's kind of a personal preference, but upgrading that is basically going to make your 2017 Model X feel like a 2020.
Yeah,
it's going to bring that car almost to the same parity level.
Yeah,
exactly.
All the games, all the software features. You'll have Netflix, YouTube, and you should be locked in with premium connectivity, so you'll be able to watch all those for free.
Yep, exactly. DB's10 said, "What are your top 3 Model 3 accessories?"
I know 2 of them.
Definitely 2 of them are going to be from our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. Discount link down below. Check them out. But wrapping the center console in Model 3 and Model Y is a necessity in my opinion. It'll scratch so easily, and wrapping it will just help protect it and make sure that if you ever do sell it or whatever, you can peel that wrap off and everything underneath is in perfect condition. I also rock a matte screen protector in every single one of our cars, also from Abstract Ocean. It really just helps cut down on the glare as well as fingerprints. And I hate seeing fingerprints on a screen. It bugs the crap out of me. As far as a third
maybe
accessory, Yeah, floor mats are a big one for me. All-weather floor mats because
they're not that exciting, but they're useful.
Yeah, we are here in Colorado. We get a lot of snow and we get a lot of mud and all that. And without floor mats, I would really mess up the interior. So in the Model Y right now, we're actually rocking the Tasmanian floor mats. We have a discount link for that too. If you check out that video, I believe, is it code just Derek? I think it's just Derek, Daerik, for 10% off. But I know they're coming out with those for like 3 and S and X and everything. But those are really nice. So yeah, I'd probably say, actually though, if you think about it, all of my accessories, my top 3 are protectors. We have the center console wrap, which helps make your car your own because you can do all kinds of cool colors that Abstract offers. We have the protector on the screen, helps protect it, but it helps cut down the glare. And then we have the floor mats. Wow, a lot of protection going on. But it helps keep your car in tip-top shape. Let's see. Car Guy said, happy early birthday. Thank you very much. Maybe you can do the live stream on Friday. Yeah, I'll have to see what next week brings. But yeah, we can probably do that. John said, you guys are great. Thank you for that. Bought the floor mats on the Model Y. You recommended picking up my Model Y tomorrow. Hopefully. Awesome. So you're definitely ready for it. It sounds like my big thing is I didn't want to get my Model Y without floor mats. So we actually took them from the Model 3 and swapped them over for a little bit. But yeah, definitely if you tweet any photos, tag me. NL said, wow, 1% degradation, lost 6% on my 2-year-old X. Any tips? I think the biggest thing I've we've done is we charge to like 80% unless we need that extra range. We don't charge heavily. Yeah, basically, yeah. And since I haven't been driving my car that much, we're just letting it stay at 50, 60%. So basically, if you keep it towards the middle of the battery, then it doesn't stress it. If the higher it is, like up to 100, that's going to stress the battery. Or if you let it get too low, that stresses it. Yeah. Let's see. Somebody said, do you know if white seats hold up with small kids? I would think so. I mean, we've done a lot of like stress tests on the white seats and have had no issues. So I would definitely think they would. Don't have kids to put that through the test though. Let's see. Da 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 da. Da da da. Sorry, I'm going through a lot of questions. We're like 10, 15 minutes behind, so I'm gonna try to like scram through these a little bit. Somebody asked what our referral code is. It's down in the description below. And I just added it too. Just added it. If you would like to use it, by all means, if we've helped you out. If somebody else has helped you out though, feel free to use theirs. Any support though is greatly appreciated. Thank you. On said, when you get your new Y, can you do a comparison of interior temperatures before and after you get your ceramic tinting? That is actually one of the plans. Good idea, yeah. So, yep, we'll be doing that. Diego said, were you guys fans of any car companies before Teslas? I mean, I've always been a McLaren fan. And to be honest, if Tesla wasn't coming out with their next-gen Roadster, I would highly consider a 720S. But since they are, 720S is going to seem like a side of quiche. If anyone gets that reference, thumbs up. I had no interest in cars whatsoever. I had my old car for 20 years, and it was just fine for me. So, but as soon as I was just waiting for something to be more efficient, and when Tesla came out, I watched for years waiting for the price to come down, and finally pulled the trigger, and have been 100% pleased with my Tesla purchase. Yep. Let's see. Awesome. Marty said, awesome. How much of a discount do you get on your monthly bill when you're off the grid? I mean, I don't think they. Well, when you're off the grid, well, you don't use anything, so true. Basically, you don't. But also, we can't send stuff back to the grid, so that is one bad thing about being off the grid for like 3 days. We're not going to earn those credits. The good thing is we have multiple cars in the garage that we can charge up. So unfortunately, we just charge them up, so we don't really need to. But yeah, you're not going to get really any credits for being off the grid. Yeah. The cool thing, though, is when you are on the grid, though, we're making like $300 a month now, like in the month of May, by sending so much power back to the grid. You bet. It's really working out really awesome. Let's see. Revens Cat 8 said, anyone know the oldest age vehicle Tesla will accept for trade-in? I'm honestly not sure. I don't know. And it might take anything, but it might not. I would think they would take anything. It just might not be a whole lot. Sydney EV, when you come to Australia, will be a special guest on our Aussie Tesla podcast.
Oh, yeah,
you
that'd be
bet.
cool.
Shoot me an email. It should be down below, just like admin at Tesla Inventory, and I will let you know when I'm out there. Sarfraz, hopefully I said that right. Sorry if I didn't. Just canceled my Tesla Solar, went with another company because the poor reviews online.
Yeah, I noticed that Tesla does have a lot more reviews, but again, our system has been pretty good, and the only problems we've had been with our electric company, really.
Yeah.
And I know, but I don't know why they have such bad reviews. I know that Tesla does take a while to get in contact, or you don't hear something, but once they install the system, they do a totally professional job, and we haven't, it works, and they're gonna. I think they're gonna be around, to support it for the next 20, 30 years.
That's my biggest thing is when we were looking too, we wanted to see who was the cheapest, and actually Tesla was the cheapest.
Yeah.
But we also thought about who's going to be around to actually honor their warranty.
Yeah, because some of these other companies, I don't know if they're going to be around, but other ones, they weren't listening to us, and we were telling Tesla, like, why
all
we
they were trying to tell us is, you're getting solar.
It's solar, and that's all they were telling us, and they couldn't tell us how much we would produce, how much it would offset our bill or anything. They just wanted to sell us solar, but they couldn't tell us anything about it. So Tesla, we've been 100% pleased. I know in some places they're still expanding out, and they don't have as much coverage, so it's not available everywhere yet, but we're totally pleased. We went with 2 different systems we have from Tesla.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any plans to come to Ottawa sometime? Actually, we were kind of thinking about maybe doing a road trip up to
Definitely to Canada. Yeah, we were pleased to see when they finished the Trans-Canadian Highway. Definitely want to head up to Canada. I went to university grad school up there in Montreal, and I would definitely like to drive across the Trans-Canadian Highway and see parts of the country I have not seen before.
Yep. Somebody said happy birthday. How old? Thank you for the happy birthday. I'm old. We'll say that. I'm getting up there. We're just getting up. Let's see. DB said I've been charging on 110 volt every day for 7 months for 20,000 miles and still doing great.
That takes
awesome.
That's a little slower than what we charge at, but it works if you don't drive a lot.
Yeah. Somebody said I have 8% degradation on my 2014 Model S. So, I mean, that kind of on the high side, maybe. It depends on your mileage,
that's
though.
like 6 years old. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the mileage would affect it, too, how far they've actually driven.
Yep. Henry says, getting a Tesla Model 3 soon. Any idea on range of Tesla insurance price? So, I mean, it's going to vary so much. Like, just between, like, different zip codes that are right next to each other in Colorado, you can get vastly different prices. But I would say my insurance is probably on par with what it was in my Ford Fusion Hybrid. Maybe a little bit more, but not too bad. Let's see. Simo, if you trade in a vehicle with FSD, does it transfer to the new car, or will the future purchase get FSD on the used car? So FSD does not transfer. And to be honest, we've heard stories of Tesla keeping it on the used car, and we've heard stories of them removing it and dropping the price. So I kind of think it depends on like where they're at and like the quarter and everything. So yeah. Adam was wondering what you drove previously.
I just responded in chat, but I had a 1997 Honda CR-V, and I had a few problems over the years, not too bad, but it lasted 20 years, and I actually kept it to that 20-year mark just because I wanted to hit 20 years, and then I sold it to my brother's coworker's son, so for a really good price. Drove it out to Kansas, and Eric followed me in the Tesla, and then we drove the Tesla up to Nebraska and came home.
Yeah. Let's see. Kieran said, currently have squirrels chewing on our solar wires, causing problems. Yikes. How are they not electrocuting themselves? And Tesla came out, took 30 days, still didn't fix it. Other than that, experience has been great. That's a big bummer. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we haven't seen that problem. I have heard that Tesla can put like a wire cage or something around the wires. Luckily, we haven't had that. We'd have squirrels, but I don't know. They're not getting on our roof, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully squirrels stay off our roof. That's all I'm asking. Let's see. 6-year-old Model S, 8% degradation, has 59,000 miles on it.
Yeah, that's not.
I mean,
huge.
also it depends too. Like, have you done a full range charge a couple times? That can
Yeah.
sometimes balance out your battery pack.
Yeah, because
You can see a difference there.
Because one of our Model S's has about 58,000 miles, and I don't think it's seen anywhere near that degradation. It was a 75D. I'm trying to calculate it out really quick. But,
Okay. You gonna do some calculations.
Yeah, I think it still only has like 4% on that. 4
Okay.
4 or 5% on the 75D with like 57,000 miles.
Yeah. Sydney EV, do you think FSD should be account linked option or only locked to the car it's ordered with? So the issue is if it's account linked, take us for example. It's gonna sound obnoxious, bear with me. We've had 11 cars, 11 Teslas, and have purchased full self-driving on all but 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the spreadsheet.
So it's
now.
like $67,000 we've paid for full self-driving over the years. Now, if it was account linked, I would have only maybe paid like $7,000, and that would be lost income for Tesla. So I'll say this: as a shareholder,
Yeah.
I want it to be car linked.
I checked
As a purchaser, I want it to
Yeah.
be account linked.
$61,000 is
$61,000 is what we've spent on FSD.
on
over the
11
years.
cars.
So it's a two-way street for me. I completely understand why people want it to be account linked, but at the same point, running a business, I understand why they want it to be linked to the car.
It would be nice though if they do
Yeah.
start charging subscriptions if they had like a multi-car discount or something like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
because we don't want to have to pay for whatever subscriptions for it. It'd be nice if like you had an active, how many drivers there are or something like that. So you only had to pay for 2 or 3 cars at a time. I don't know.
No. Let's see. Somebody mentioned I'm visually impaired. Do you guys think I'll be able to buy one and rely on self-driving? At this point, no.
Not
But
yet.
hopefully in the future, because that's kind of like the whole idea with this is it'll really help a lot of people potentially get their independence back, which is huge.
Yeah.
You basically have like your own driver all the time.
That was cool. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago when they had like the Model 3 delivery event and they had like a contest for commercials, and somebody made a really cool Tesla commercial where they took a Model S and they had a guy driving. Oh, it almost brings tears to my eyes, and he shows up and he sees his mom, and then he gets out and he has a cane because he's blind, and so that would be so cool.
Yeah.
One of these days that will be possible.
Real life.
They're not there yet, but one of these days.
You bet. Let's see. Adam said, if you add FSD after the original purchase and the car is in a crash and is a write-off, does the insurance company cover FSD on a replacement, or are you SOL? So my advice would be is if you add it after you originally buy it, I would call your insurance company and tell them that.
Make sure it's covered, yeah.
To make sure it's covered, because just that whole situation that you mentioned is pretty scary, because full self-driving is $7,000. It's not cheap. Now, if another party insurance is responsible for your car, say someone hit you, I would imagine you could show their insurance, this is what I paid for the car, this is what I paid for FSD, I lose FSD when you total that car. I imagine you could go that route. But if it's like your fault, you want to make sure your insurance is going to cover that. Definitely check with your insurance company. Luckily, all ours have been purchased with the car, so I don't think there's any issue with that. But yeah, definitely something to double check. Aaron said, I charge my Model S to 100 to 5% once every 2 months, and last time it showed 8% loss.
Yeah, so it does sound
Okay.
like he's exercising, you know, the BMS, and that's probably accurate. Then it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome Car Kit, is there anything you miss from your old gas cars? I'll tell you one thing I don't miss. The exhaust. We were actually waiting in line at a store yesterday. Or was it yesterday?
It was
yesterday.
Yeah.
And a car came up to the front to load.
Curbside, yeah.
And all we smelt were those exhaust fumes. I don't miss that
It's
one.
nauseating. You get that headache. And I can remember once when, like, I think it was Scott's car a few years ago before he had a Tesla, and it just, the fumes it put out in the garage, it would give me a headache, and we do not have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't miss anything about a gas car.
I mean, thinking about it, I don't think I really miss anything either, to be honest. I mean, what would I really be missing? I mean, the only thing I can say gas cars have going for them is they can get a full tank in
A lot faster, yeah.
a couple minutes. that is about the only perk I can think of right now.
But I used, when I used to go on road trips to Kansas, Nebraska, stuff like that. I would try to go as far as possible, get gas, and get back in the car. But it was such a draining experience that by the time I got to where I needed to go, I was really tired. In the Tesla, I don't have that problem. Even though it takes a little bit longer, I take these breaks and then, get food, or I spend some time just relaxing in the car. And with Autopilot, it seems to just take some of that stress out of the trip. And so by the time I get there, it doesn't seem like it's taking longer. And I'm more awake and aware when I get there.
Yeah. Mike D said, I noticed there are 3 cameras in front of the Tesla. Do you know why? I actually just pulled this up. This is actually on Tesla's website. If you go to Model S, X, 3, or Y and scroll almost all the way to the bottom, they actually kind of break it down. I just missed that part of the animation. But anyway, these are the ultrasonic sensors. On the front, you have a long range, medium range, and like a wide angle camera. So those are actually the 3 cameras that you do have on the front of your Tesla. All 3 are active.
And so like the wide angle one is just so that it can see kind of to the left or right. So if you're at an intersection, or stop sign or something like that, it'll be able to see cars there. Whereas, a human can turn their head or move their eyes, but since those cameras are fixed, they have to have them with different angles.
Yep. Let's see. Mark says, how are you charging? If you're mostly supercharging, you're likely to have much more battery degradation than someone who charges mostly on AC. And most of ours are on AC. However, that Model S has been out to LA twice, I believe.
At least twice,
It has been out east to pick up puppies. It's been on several road trips.
Yeah, I keep track of all the supercharging, and we do most of our charging at home, charging with our solar, and with our wall connectors. But when we do go on road trips, don't hesitate to supercharge. Today we were just out running some errands, and we did supercharge the...
But only to like 80%.
Yeah.
So, I mean, still not bad. Mike says, how have your Teslas been on brake changes?
We
never had to do a... Actually, I take that back. I did have to do brakes on my Performance Model 3 because we swapped them out for carbon ceramics.
Oh, yes.
But other than that, that's the only brake thing, and that was completely optional, something I wanted to do. Besides that, we have had zero brake issues, which is quite nice. What do you normally have to do brakes on a normal gas car?
I don't know, because with my car, the 20-year-old CR-V that I had, I didn't have to change the brakes on that until I got to 185,000 miles, because it was all highway miles.
Yeah.
So I have good luck with brakes.
Nice. Let's see. Getting a lot of comments in chat. People would like FSD to be account tied. I can definitely see why. And then Curtin just said maybe FSD could be offered as a subscription option on a monthly basis for those who have not selected FSD when you bought the car, or even better, if it's event based. Yeah, so